Tuesday, and I don't know what the fuck happened, but I clicked go live because I knew it was going to bring up that next one to say go live,
Uh-huh.
and it didn't. It
Oh, no.
just went
It
live. I went, oh, fuck. That's not how it's supposed to work.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, wow. You can turn on the other thing to kill off
Oh, yeah.
kill the light. BYT, how's it going, brother? Welcome, welcome.
I like what he said.
What?
Goonies never surrender.
And never say die.
That's right.
But also never says, you know, who also says never say die?
Who?
Iron Eagle.
That's true.
Never say die.
Iron Eagle.
Different movie, different soundtrack.
Yes.
Hey, Baldo, how's it going, buddy? Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, so yeah. Okay, so that was crazy. I literally hit the go live button and it just went live. Went, oh, well, suck.
Yeah. So we kind of jumped went live.
We jumped the gun today.
Yes, we
but
did.
That's okay.
Yeah.
We got a lot to cover, a lot to do. Nicole will be here when she can get here.
Yes.
We're not gonna Nicole will be here when she can get here. We'll by the time she gets here, we will be
into doing Goonies.
We should be closer to doing Goonies.
Yep.
And probably talking a little Mandalorian trailer.
Yes.
Yes. But before the show, Fulcrum Entertainment stopped by. And Nicole did also stop by real quick to say hello to Fulcrum Entertainment. Again, she will be here when she gets here. So, but before that, let's go ahead and get on with the show. Shall we?
Yes. Get all the business done and everything that needs to get done.
You sure?
Yes.
Positive?
Absolutely.
By the way, in case anybody doesn't realize, Kim's now wearing the
Reynolds
shirt, and I'm wearing the Jason Rhodes shirt.
Yep.
Figured I'll represent both today.
Yes.
All right. Welcome to Use and Abuse. I'm Scott.
I'm Kim.
And this is episode 185, and we're talking about
Goonies.
Actually, it's called The Goonies.
Yes.
A movie came out in 1985.
Yep. God. And a shout out to Kenny, who joined us in the chat.
Hey, Kenny. And we will be joined by Nicole later on. She's busy right at the moment, but when she gets here, we'll bring her right on in.
Yes.
And we'll get this party started, but we're going to get this party started early because we got a lot of news to go over.
We do. We got
a lot of stuff to go over beforehand. Yes. And before we get even into, like as Kim likes to call it, the business. I have an error I made last week.
Yes, you did.
During the episode when we were talking about the airplane that got sold at the auction on Elvis's birthday, I think it was, or that Monday. I don't remember
the Mecum auctions.
Right, the Mecum auction. I misquoted. I said that was the Lisa Marie. The Lisa Marie is actually at Graceland.
Yes.
Right along with Hound Dog 2, his second Learjet.
Oh, okay.
It was actually, I believe this was his first Learjet.
Yeah.
Which is the one that was sold that's out in the boondocks in New Mexico.
Yeah.
So I just want to clear that up from last week because I did make a mistake.
Yes.
But yeah, and of course we will get into in the news section, we will talk about everyone who recently has passed away. I know last week we mentioned Jeff Beck.
Yes.
But we're gonna do a little tribute or a little thing we put together for them.
Yes, we are.
And it wasn't our idea; it was actually Nicole's idea.
It was Nicole's idea. Yes.
So I'm giving her all credit for that. But
yes,
let's go ahead and get done with business real quick, Kim.
Yes.
As soon as I find it, somewhere here is business. There it is.
Thank you to our Patreons, Luna Girl and Dragon Buddy, Don Delasnooch Solsky, Nicholas Schaefer, Steve Long, Hannah, Mikey, Brinley, and Case.
If you'd like to join our Patreon, go to patreon.com/usedabusepod. Real quick about our Patreon, I would assume about the middle of February, things are going to change a little bit. You're probably actually going to start seeing some Patreon only videos.
Yes.
And maybe, and more likely some actual posts.
Yes.
Because there's some ideas coming through the pipeline that we're thinking about, or I'm thinking about doing.
Yes.
As far as the videos go,
it may be just him, not me.
The videos will be like me picking up an album. Now I'll just use this one as an example, this John Williams Christmas one, and talk about 4 or 5 songs off the album, talk about the album itself, the recording of it, whatnot, what I can find, information I can find, kind of take the podcast or that portion of with the Patreons back to the original,
what it was originally, yes.
What the podcast started as.
Yeah.
When we did music.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, we're still going to talk music on the show.
Oh, yes, we are.
But the difference is this will be album specific, where I will choose, again, like I said, choose one album. And I'm not going to talk about the artist at all. Mainly, I'm going to talk about that album and whatever information I can find out about the recording of that album.
Yes.
And then again, talk about a few songs that I like off of it.
Yeah. And again, he'll probably do either Why I'm at Work or probably more likely Why I'm at Work, because I do work late shift.
Yeah. So. But I mean, if there's something that you want to be a part of, I mean, again, these are not going to be live.
No, they're going to be pre-recorded.
They're going to be pre-recorded. So there's opportunity for you to also be a part of them if, like.
Yes, I like doing Elvis or New Kids or something.
Right. If we go album specific.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, we're going to talk about Elvis here in March.
Yes.
But, I mean, we just did Elvis last week. We're going to again talk about Elvis music in March.
Yes.
Because there's a lot to cover there. Plus, plus him, him overall, going over his growing up and whatnot, kind of like what we used to do.
Yes.
But let's move on with this business.
Sounds good to me. Search for Used and Abused Pod today on all your favorite podcasting apps, including Apple, Google, Audible, Amazon Music, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.
Don't forget to smash that like button. And if you are new to the channel, click subscribe, then click that bell to be notified when we go live.
And if you're watching this on the replay and you want to put a comment, just put it in the comments below. You can find us.
Yeah, by the way, real quick, on the sidebar on that real quick. Joker Boys, I do apologize. I did see your comment from the Wednesday episodes 1 through 4.
1 through 4.
I did see your comment. I'm sorry I've not responded. That is my fault, not Kim's. I run the YouTube section of the podcast. So I apologize. I've got to get better at responding.
Yes.
Anyways.
You can find Used and Abused Pod on Facebook, the Gram, and Twitter.
Also TikTok.
Oh, yes. Also TikTok. Yeah.
I don't have it on there.
But yeah. So
but I did.
So all social media platforms, let's put it that way.
Almost all of them.
Almost all of them. We're on Facebook. We're on the Gram. We're on Twitter. We're on TikTok.
Yeah. Well, TikTok originally was my personal one.
It was. And then you put it under.
And then I switched it up and made it under the podcast.
Yep. So.
You can email us at usedandabusedpod@gmail.com, and that and spelled out AND.
Our website is usedabusedpod.com.
You can leave us a voicemail. You can call us at 928-719-0749.
Go to TeePublic and search for Used Abused Pod, all lowercase, for our merch store. There are t-shirts, tank tops, hoodies, face masks, onesies, coffee mugs, and etc.
Right. So there's 3 designs. Obviously, we have
the 2 originals.
The original design. Also, the original design of the fire, what I call the fire sky, which is behind real quick. I'll drop this out just for a second so you can see it real quick. And then there's the new design, which if you look up in the top right-hand corner, I gotta look back, make sure. Top right-hand corner. Of the YouTube screen. That's our new cover design that we use on our podcast.
Yes.
So you can get any of those on any of those things, as she said, and there is a lot of stuff.
There is.
that you can get this stuff on.
And hopefully we'll get better at uploading more designs.
Well, I mean, we got to think of designs first to upload.
Yeah, I know. We are proud members. Oh, I'm sorry.
Members?
We are a proud member of the Red 5 Network. Go to red5.com to find more exciting podcasts.
And speaking of Red 5 Network, go to bio.link/red5, and there you can find there's a total of 37 podcasts. 29 are active.
Yes. So
and then the ones that are not currently active are down in Carbonite.
Yes, but you can find most anything that you're looking for underneath
the thing that's changed though with the BioLink is either one, it's going to go to Spotify.
Oh, okay.
Or it's going to go to their YouTube channel.
Oh, okay.
Or it's going to go to their BioLink.
Nice.
Or maybe even Linktree. I don't know if anybody gave a Linktree or ad, but
yeah.
So you're going to go somewheres with everybody.
Yes, you are. Just pick, if something interesting.
Like if you click on Use and Abuse Pod, you're going to go to our BioLink.
Yeah.
Which then at the very top of the BioLink is all the stuff where we can be found, and then a couple other things that are labeled in the bottom.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of podcasts, and I mean, there's literally something for everybody in there.
Right. As far as Red 5 happenings, Lunar Girl's on a break right now.
But
first of all, we wanted to say that our thoughts and prayers are still with Lunar Girl,
yes.
Alex, and Dragon Buddy right now.
Yes.
And as far as what's going on in the Red 5 network, I wish I knew. This is how lost we are without Lunar Girl.
Oh, I know.
I know Rogue One Radio is still on a break.
And I know ATSW, the Escape Pod's not doing anything this week. They're doing it next week.
Right. They're going to be back on the 25th. They're going to be talking Borat.
Yeah. And that's every other week for them.
And next week, Monday, on the Escape Pod, on Sidebar Cantina, they're talking something with Star Wars.
Yeah. And then just keep your eye on the socials for Stranger Things. Stranger
Things has happened.
Yeah.
Mainly if you follow at your Red 5 network on Twitter, you will know what's going on in the Red 5 network.
Oh yeah. Cause it'll list them there.
Right. So just go to the BioLink. You can find everything there for all the podcasts that are in the Red 5 network.
Yeah. Plus you can see what's happening.
Hey, we know while people are taking a break.
Yeah, we do.
You can go back and listen to their archives.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe when they come back from break, maybe go give them a like and a subscribe.
Right. As far as Red 5 Network gaming's going, I believe it's still under construction.
It is.
I have not heard anything new on that.
Yes.
As we mentioned before, Cantina family also is part of the Red 5 Network. Almost all of us are part of the Red 5 Network. A few of us aren't.
Yes.
But in the Cantina family, obviously, we always got Sidebar Cantina. Dave and Jason go live every Monday night at 5:30 Eastern-ish. I will say ish.
Ish, yes.
Because there's some nights where they decide to go at 5.
I know.
And then there's some times where Jason forgets to press the go live button and it sits there forever.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, real quick, because I know this is a problem last night. You watched the chat, Kim. If you guys can hear us just fine without having your TV turned or your volume turned to 100, just give us a thumbs up in the chat.
Yeah.
Because I know last night during Dave and Jason's show, they were out. Normally our TV is set at 20.
Yeah, it is.
And I had to turn it to 100 to hear them.
Oh, golly.
Yeah. So something was wrong with their show last night. So if we were coming across this fine, just
give us a thumbs up and let us know if you can hear us without turning your volume up as high as it will go on your TV.
And obviously, I got to change this. ATSW, the Escape Pod. Normally, we go live every Wednesday, but they're going to take. They're going to go every other week right now. So they'll be back on January 25th. Again, that is with Borat. And definitely want to be in their live stream or in their live chat at 7:05 Eastern. The Orange and Fett show, they're on Spotify and YouTube. I don't know what they've got going on.
I don't either.
I have not checked, so I apologize on that to the Fett brothers.
Yes.
Also, Swede Studios, Big Swede's Excellent Adventure, and Tactical Swede are also only on YouTube.
Yeah.
But also with Swede is his high school band, the Explicit Noise.
Yes.
And I know they've got a few videos up too, so go check them out.
Yes, exactly.
Layman's Terms, only on YouTube. and it is our buddy Keith Lehman.
Yes.
He gives you drunken banter. He talks about Magic, the Gathering card game. He talks about whatever he wants while drinking.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, like Kim mentioned again, Stranger Things Has Happened is also on YouTube, and that is hosted by Don Della Snooch
and
Luna Girl.
Yeah.
They are currently going through Stranger Things for the very first time.
Yes.
I'm actually watching it at the same time with them. So because I had never seen the show beforehand. So it is kind of a fun little, like there's at least three of us I know have taken this. Well, you're taking the ride too.
Yes, I am.
You're right now stuck in season 1.
I am.
They just got done doing season 9. No, season 9.
Season 5.
Season 2.
2. Yeah.
Episode 9, I think. Right.
Yep. Yeah. Season 2.
Did they do it?
No, it was episode 8.
Oh no, they haven't done. Yeah, they've only done episode 8. Season 2, episode 9 will be live.
Yes, because they canceled it.
Pay attention to the socials.
Yes.
And as a reminder, all links are in the show notes pinned to the top of our Twitter page. And always go to vital.link/usedabusedpod to find out all the information. And hello, Nicole.
Hi. How are you guys?
Good. How are you?
The chat. I'm finally here.
Yeah, it's no big deal. We just barely got done with the business.
Yeah. I know. Did we already talk about, like, did you already go over the news from the sad news? Go there already?
No. The only thing I did is I corrected my error from last week.
Okay.
And that's when I thought when I said that the plane that sold at the Meekum auction was Lisa Marie, but Lisa Marie and Hound Dog 2 are both at Graceland. So it was actually, I believe it was actually probably his first jet he owned.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm assuming if the second one's called Hound Dog 2, the smaller jet, then I'm assuming this smaller jet is probably Hound Dog 1.
Well, I know
but they didn't have a name on it.
Well, I know that the jet that you're talking about, it's kind of an orange jet with red interior.
Oh yeah, it's got red interior.
So, he liked red.
Right.
Isn't it crazy though? Like last week at this time, we were getting ready to talk about Elvis the movie. And of course, I mentioned Golden Globes. And I was right on another thing that we also talked about.
Yes, you were.
When we get there. And just it just changes the perspective, I think, for the three, for anybody else who had done a podcast last week about Elvis or anything. And it just changed everything. Like, you're like, what kind of timing? That's just crazy timing.
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, I know last week on the show, we did mention the passing of Jeff Beck because he passed away on the 10th, but I mean, after the episode last week, and then the high of the Golden Globes from the night, I think it was that night or night. It was the last Tuesday or last Wednesday
night. Yep, because I remember getting off and I was texting forth with our fellow Red 5 friend Shanti, and all the excitement, mostly excitement. Because let me tell you, the Golden Globes, those who earned the awards, awesome, but the host was awful. Hi, Uvaldo. He was awful. That was the most boring. Also, I'm just very surprised that they allowed certain jokes that were considered deemed appropriate. That I'm like, that wasn't funny at all.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't watch it. So I'm
going off on my own tangent already. I'm so excited to be here and like chit chat and geek out, and I'm like, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, we're just getting ready to get into the news section of it, and I mean, the first piece that I pulled was actually from the 12th. I found this ironic and awesome. John Fogerty finally gets all of his songs back.
Good.
He gets them all back. He finally owns them all again. I remember a thing in the early or mid 80s, whenever his Center Field album came out.
Oh yeah.
And he was actually being sued because The Old Man Down the Road has a lick in it that's kind of like a CCR song. and it got thrown out of court because the judge was like, he wrote it.
Yeah.
I mean, he wrote this other one. He wrote this one. So
yeah,
you can't,
Right.
You can't see the guy that actually wrote it. But his legal woes began nearly 60 years ago when CCR signed to Fantasy Records, which film producer and record producer executive Saul Zanis bought in 1967. Fogerty came to see the terms of the deal as unfair and tried for years to extradite himself from Fantasy Records.
Yeah.
To get out of the deal, Fogerty relinquished his royalties in 1980 and did not see payment from them for decades.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Now the embattled CCR leader can finally enjoy a bit of peace and satisfaction. Fogerty recently bought a majority interest in the global publishing rights to his CCR catalog from Concord for an undisclosed sum, Billboard reported. So thank goodness he got his
reward.
Well, he got his songs back. I mean, they're his songs.
Well, yeah, they are.
And in modern day, we're seeing Taylor Swift, whether a person likes her or not, she's having to re-record everything to earn her catalog back. Like, that's her name, that's her records. And she actually wrote most of her music. And that's just crazy that an artist, like, it's all in that fine writing. It's like you almost need like 2 or 3 lawyers to look at it. You go through it once, you go back through and see if I missed something. You know what I mean? Is there some fine print that might not help this artist in the long run? And it should be fair in the long run, especially if somebody's the actual writer. There should be, I don't know, something, rules or something to protect them or loss. Because that really stinks. Because now we see this, I'm talking about something that's modern, and this is just something that is from the 80s, the 1980s, and just getting corrected. It's just awful. I mean,
it reminds me of something funny real quick. I need to say hello to you, to Rolando.
I know. I saw my dad in the chat too.
Yeah, yes. Dad is. Yep. And
used to seeing that name.
And
he likes that he can jump on this podcast, and it's stuff that he likes and enjoys.
Right on. One thing I find interesting, because obviously growing up in the 80s and getting into the hard rock scene, eventually, as now they call it, the hair metal scene, and like getting into bands like Kiss, and then going back and learning about Kiss, and learning that Gene Simmons would literally sit there and go, when they were signing contracts, when it said Casablanca Records would own, so he crossed that out and put Kiss would own.
Smart man.
Yeah.
He might be in his personal life on a whole different spectrum. And I mean it is a tongue length that he has, different spectrum, okay, people? But he was a very smart man. Very smart business.
I mean, I know Kiss fans get really ticked off because of the fact that pretty much him and Paul purchased the makeup off of Peter and Ace.
Mm-hmm.
So those guys, have no rights to those characters in a way, because that's what they were in the 70s. And it's like, but he was smart.
Yeah. He had a business mind on him.
I mean, and the thing was, is he not only did he do it here, but he did it when they did shows for Japan.
Yeah.
When they would do the TV shows over there, he would always put in there Kiss would own. And that's why Kiss has all this content that, I mean, if they ever wanted to, they could start their own streaming channel.
Right.
And it's crazy. All right. Well, I've dogged this one long enough.
Okay.
All right. I've held this back long enough. All right. So from TMZ, obviously this was a long day on the 12th.
Yeah, it was.
It started probably around, I know about, it was sort of like 2:00 here, it seemed like.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, Lisa Marie Presley has passed away, according to family sources. TMZ has learned. Before that, she had been rushed to the hospital with cardiac arrest, we were all, I mean, thoughts and prayer. I mean, we were praying hard. I mean, it was like, you got, especially after we just come off of, talking about Elvis on that Tuesday. And I was like, well, what is going on here?
Yeah, it was kind of supernatural. And I can remember I was at work, and every time I took a break or my lunch break, I would check. And by the time I got home, I like walked into my house and I'm just like, what timing? It was just, the timing was crazy. I did miss the original announcement, but by my lunchtime I knew, and by my next break I knew stuff. And then, but the timing after me knowing, and I remember texting you guys and texting a friend that I talked about last week, and I'm going, this is just crazy timing.
It was.
Gave me shivers. I was like, whew, this timing. I just don't.
Yeah, I mean,
like this is just kind of uncomfortable. Like, I don't want this to be true. So
right. Oh, exactly. I mean, that was the thing is, I mean, we're getting the reports, that she's rushed to the hospital after her housekeeper found her unresponsive at her Calabasas home in her bedroom. I mean, it's like, okay, Elvis was in the restroom off of his bathroom or bedroom. It's like, this is too. And then, of course, I was making the comments to Kim because she's working, but she works from home, so she's getting all this information when she's in between her calls and stuff. I'm letting her know what's going on, and I'm like, Elvis passed away at 42. She's 54.
Yeah, but his mom's age too. His mom also had a cardiac arrest, so heart problems obviously I think it's hereditary. I do know they're still doing autopsies and all that stuff on all this and figuring out, and the toxology, is that how you say it?
I heard TMZ, they do a podcast on YouTube. And I
want to listen to them at the same time. I don't think I fully can support them. It's really hard because it's like, I want the information, but they go to great lengths for the dirt, and I don't necessarily think I'm okay with the way that it's handled to get the dirt.
I agree, exactly. But I mean, unfortunately, they do got their sources. I mean, they get it the worst way, but they still, they do get it, and unfortunately,
like, what just happened?
Oh, sorry, I scraped my shoulder against my microphone.
Kim's doing things that she shouldn't be doing because I'm marking something to come back to, and that's what the whole point of starting something is.
Oh, gotcha.
She's over here playing with the mouse when she should be leaving it alone.
I know.
But anyways, it was like, you gotta be kidding me. I mean, and then as time has gone on, or afterwards, and we finally started getting all the reports. Pretty much, it was, after her mom showed up, and then Priscilla showed up, and then shortly, I mean, probably within an hour after that, that's when we got the notification she had passed away.
Well, it kind of, when I look back now, it's kind of makes sense. Like, I look back after the Tuesday night, and I remember texting, man, she doesn't look well. Something's not right. And then that night when they said a light pacemaker, I'm like, no, I think she was already slipping away, and just they were trying to maybe as long for Priscilla to be there, without resuscitating, but doing what they needed to do.
Right. So I watched her, Lisa Marie, at Graceland.
Oh yeah, I did too.
It's all over YouTube. I mean, so many different people were there, and I'm like watching her, and then I turn around and started looking up and obviously this is on Friday as all this is going down, and then I started watching some of the Golden Globes after that, and I'm like, whoa, yes, something's off.
Even the difference, I think the one thing that I noticed when I see pictures though from Sunday at Graceland and Tuesday is the fact that she's wearing sunglasses.
Right.
And those sunglasses really hid a lot of the story, I feel, that what was going on. Because I think if we could read her soul through her eyes, man, we would have known on Sunday that something was not right. But behind those sunglasses a lot. So
right. One thing I noticed, like the differences like between Sunday and the Golden Globes was Sunday she didn't need help getting up the stairs.
Right.
for the celebration of her dad's, would have been her dad's 88th birthday. And she just seemed, I mean, compared to what happened at the Golden Globes, I mean, obviously that was one of, Elvis's key people that been with her, been with Elvis too. That was with her at the Golden Globes. I wish I could remember the guy's name, but I can't right at the moment. But
the actor?
No, the guy was with her.
Oh, and he was from the Memphis Mafia too.
Right.
He's a friend of Elvis's, and he was helping her. Shoot, you're right. I know who I'm talking about, and that's like I know all the other details, and I'm like, that's Lerner. Then there's Austin, and then wait, I know I know that he's from the Memphis Mafia, but I can't.
Yeah, and the thing is because I mean, I guess short story told, after Tuesday's episode, last Tuesday's episode, me and Nicole had been pretty much sending each other different YouTubes on everything to do with Elvis.
That was the other thing. Talk about the timing. You and I had that day of in the morning, we were sending each other YouTubes all day about Submarine and his life. And there were things that you were finding and I was finding. Again, I'm telling you, the timing, when everything started going down, I'm like, dear God, this is not the time. Like so weird in timing, and it made me uncomfortable.
I know, right? I mean, it was like, whoa, we were going down, into the Memphis Mafia. We're going all these different directions with Elvis, and it's like, and then of course, pulling up the videos, Elvis by the Presleys and all this different stuff. Like, what? And all of a sudden, I was like, what the heck? What, Yeah, you're right. It really made it real uncomfortable quick.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But,
and if anyone wants to ever see any of those videos, if you're on Used and Abused Discord, we actually have the videos are right there in the general. If you want to see any of the videos, just hit me or Scott and Kim up, and we'll send you some of those videos, because again, they were really good videos that we were sending each other. But again, they were really good. But by the end of the day, it just made us really uncomfortable.
Right. I mean, it was just like the timing of everything. Like, I mean, because like I said, since Tuesday, we had really, not just that one day, but really since Tuesday, we'd both been going these different routes, different ways and pulling different stuff up on Elvis. I mean, I couldn't get enough of Elvis all of a sudden. Like, so,
I know. I'm like, feed it to me. I'm like eating it like cake, and I'm just, it didn't stop me. But boy, did it kind of halt the brakes for a moment, because I was just like crazy.
Right. And so, I mean, obviously, when the EMTs got to her Calabasas home, they tried to do, they did CPR. They did, what's that thing called, Kim?
What thing?
Right.
Epinephrine.
Oh, epinephrine.
Thank you.
So real quick, though, her first original husband, Danny Kehoe, I think that's right.
Yes.
He lived in the house. One special note, I'm not trying to spread gossip, y'all, but it's true. He was in the house. He performed CPR, which is very helpful, because those first few seconds is very key.
Well,
but I'm still trying to figure out, like, in the house? What's going on there?
You're right, because, I mean, here's the thing is, we're not even a week separated from DeMar Hamlin going down on Monday Night Football.
But I think the difference between DeMar and her, though, is the fact that she had a family history. Right. And I think that separates the two.
Right. But I mean,
definitely tells us that we need to be taking care of our hearts and really got to be looking at heart health more than anything, because I feel like over the weekend, somebody from American Idol also cardiac arrest. I mean, young age, young. Not like Lisa where she's got a family history. No, another young age. And really take care of your hearts, people, because that's very important.
Definitely. Well, I mean, that seems like, because I mean, over the weekend, you were on Scared After Dark.
I was, yeah.
And I didn't get to watch it. I mean, I had to literally leave a message in there saying, sorry, I know I'm going to crash. So what we found out I am diabetic.
Yes.
And I thought it was just all this stuff doing with Lisa Marie was dragging me down. But no, I had a little too much sugar. Yeah.
Yeah. So you got to take care of that when you're diabetic, or take care of your kidneys. Like at the world, just so important to take care of your health.
But I mean, pretty much what they the way it was described, they once they put her into the induced coma, she was already gone.
I think so.
You know, it was mentioned. I remember. I don't know, it was mentioned somewhere with TMZ at some point. But yeah, that's when they pretty much waited for the family to get there, and then they did the DNR, do not resuscitate, and then that's when. So pretty much they were going to leave her in the induced coma. The minute she had another heart attack, pretty much was what happened. She had another cardiac arrest, and at that point, that's when they let her go. You know, I mean, but you know, once they get in there, they know. I mean, once they hook all the stuff, but they know if you're brain dead or not. You know, they know, and unfortunately, just like Elvis, we don't know. No one knows the gap from when they go down to when they were first discovered.
Right.
You know, and again, it comes back. You know, and I bring it back to that Monday Night Football, and the reason why is because DeMar, they were on the field so quick. And doing CPR, you know, that they were able to. I mean, he's back. He went to the team facilities this weekend.
Yeah, I did.
Before the game on Sunday. So, you know, again,
but
I mean,
that family history though is different.
Right.
Yeah, you know, and her grandma. We don't have much detail other than we know that it happened. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly. And the thing is until we get the full report, the full autopsy report, the toxicology report, which was where I was going, TMZ said that the toxicology roughly about 2 to 3 months out before we hear anything on that.
Well, yeah, because it depends on if they've got to send it over to another lab to get it studied.
Yeah.
Because I know there's a lot of red tape that goes in with doing an autopsy on a person. And it depends on what labs have to do what for the autopsy.
And then, unfortunately, we get more unfortunate news on the 13th.
Yeah, we do.
This one shocked me too, because I've seen this man a few times doing his stunts and whatnot, but Daredevil and son of stuntman Evel Knievel, Robbie Knievel, had passed away.
Yeah.
Next day, I'm like, threes, vacation threes.
Right. I mean, Jeff Beck earlier on the 10th, and then Lisa Marie, and then
Robbie, yeah.
But Robbie was also battling pancreatic cancer.
Pancreatic cancer, yeah.
You know, so, but he did one thing stating here that he passed away early Friday morning with his daughters at his side.
Yep.
So, again, even Lisa Marie had her family there too.
Yep.
So, yeah, so it was like back-to-back day, like, oh gosh.
Yeah.
Can we get a break already? Okay, 2023, I get it. You're coming in strong. It's a little too strong.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Nicole actually came up with this great idea.
Yes, and that's what we're going to do now.
She came up with this really great idea yesterday. Want to know out of something, and I'm like, no, I didn't think of this. But this is all Nicole's credit. I put it together, but this is Nicole's credit because she's the one who.
Well, when I do that, when Rogue One Radio, I usually will send Steve pictures and, hey, do you want to throw up pictures? Or when we're doing this, that's what I'm like, well, you want to do this? Because if I was, when Rogue One Radio is together and not going, that's what we do. Yeah. We honor.
I love it. And me and Kim actually got talking that there's something we're actually going to do. And then at the end of the year, we're going to piece them all together.
Oh, I love it. It's
with
perfect.
Those that we lost in 2023, yep. So this will be our first year doing it.
Yes.
Obviously, I have to go back and get some of the earlier ones from earlier in the year that we didn't do this on, but we'll get them. We'll have it ready to go at the end of the year.
Yes, we will.
So here we go.
So short, sweet, but I love it.
Yeah.
You did a fantastic job.
Yeah, I just realized that there was a date, the template dates were like, oh man, I didn't catch that when I was watching it through Canva, but
And I don't know if you guys can confirm this. I think I read and heard that Johnny Depp actually was with Beck when he had passed.
I had heard that too. Yeah.
Y'all, let me tell you about that man.
All right.
I'm glad that he wasn't alone.
Yeah.
Hey, Kristen.
Is it Diane? I thought it was. Or is that Kristen?
Kitty. Yeah, Kristen, Jason's wife.
Is it? I'm like, wait. Yep. I wanted to make sure. I'm like, I think I'm like.
Yes, Mrs. Wascom that has the toaster that beats his butt every year.
Like, wait, I know this person.
Like the last 2 seasons of their fantasy football, he's never beat her.
I heard about that.
And I think this last season, he didn't even beat Luna Girl, so he got his butt kicked by the girls.
I did.
I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him because that's freaking awesome. Anyways, I wanted to, before we hit any more news, Rolando came up with had something I just wanted to bring up that Gene Simmons is definitely a merchandise promoter.
Yeah, and that last word, from what I know in real life, also, but each their own.
Right.
That's something we could discuss, after dark.
Yes.
Yeah, right. That's definitely after dark. Yeah, it's still daylight here. So something came across my radar yesterday, and it is from Ultimate Classic Rock. Obviously, this is a article, so this is what's the word I'm looking for? A journalist comes up with their ideas.
Oh,
this is what they think.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not what everybody thinks, but it's supposedly
hypothesis or something.
rock and roll is the most hated records and songs.
Huh?
Yeah, rock and rolls or rock's most hated records, as I put it, albums or songs.
By whose opinion?
By, let's see, was this article, who wrote it? It is by Michael.
I want to know what he's basing his opinion on, like his own personal, or is he basing this off of record sales? Did they say in the article?
I'm
like, dude, where do you get your? Because I mean, in order to get on that list, you got to at least be known, right? I'm like, now I'm curious. I'm like, I'm gonna be so mad if I hear a song I like on that list.
Don't worry. There's a few of them that already pissed me off.
Oh, okay, great. We're gonna be pissed off together. This is great. Great, Scott.
Right.
Kim, I didn't know this ahead of time.
Okay, I didn't either. I'm with
You're
you.
like, all right, we're gonna be all angry together.
Got it. We're gonna start this off right off the bat, right off the top, with "Don't Want to Miss a Thing," Aerosmith.
What?
Okay, again, this is this man's opinion, obvious. Right. Okay.
Yeah, this is opinion.
This because I got issues already.
Yeah.
I mean, he says here.
Remember last week when I talked about the peace sign and the wiggle with the one finger? That's how I feel about this article already.
Oh my gosh. Okay, after this, we've got to do the show and tell portion of this show.
Yes, we do.
Holy crap. Wow.
I will do show and tell.
Oh, cool. Okay, well, we haven't gotten there yet, so let's just move on real quick. An album titled Allman and Woman to the Hard Way. It is Greg Allman with Cher. Again, it's an older record. Huh?
Did you just say Cher?
Uh-huh.
She would also give him the wiggle of the middle finger.
Right.
Let's be honest. It's Cher.
Right. According to him, Allman, whose band had broken up in '76, Cher, whose own career has spiraled downward by the mid '70s, to the hard way. So I guess it's actually a song, not the whole album. Is the result of a mismatched union that hit the wrong notes. Personally, personally. Anyways, I'd have to go. Oh, I should not scroll these up because Kim's seen them before.
Her face. She is so mad right now. This writer is lucky he's not in the same room because I'd be like, out, because that is where you need to be.
Well, I mean, how should I really just start this one? It's like Aruba,
My
Jamaica.
God, yeah,
I want to take it to the Beach Boys. He's got the Beach Boys.
Yeah.
Kokomo.
I don't know who this again. I need to refine this writer's name, and then I need to not read his article because this is totally like again. I want to know what he's basing this off of because the Beach Boys is iconic, like of a certain time period. And
real quick, yes, Kristen.
Mm.
I'm wearing Jason Rose, and Kim's got on Row Reynolds this week. So I'm representing Sidebar, and she's representing Scared After Dark. Yes, Kokomo by the Beach Boys.
Get out.
As far as I go, right, and she knows this, there's only one song that I do not like, and it's not because I didn't like it when it first came out. It got so overplayed, and even now, the actual artist doesn't even want to do it live, and that's Bobby McFerrin's
Don't Worry, Be Happy.
Yeah, that song.
Oh, I love that song.
Don't get me wrong, I love it in the beginning.
And I would like to make a special note because I want to do a sidebar. Wink, wink, you got it there?
Got it.
One of my favorite episodes by the Sidebar Cantina. If you've not seen their show, this is a great show to check out on Monday nights, but they have one in their catalog that I absolutely love. And I went bananas listening to the podcast when they did this. They did Animal Sounds by the Beach Boys. And I remember being in, I think you were I'm sure you were in that chat too. Because I was just loving every moment. I was so excited that they were talking about the Beach Boys and so excited about Animal Sounds, and I just loved it. So check out Sidebar Cantina and go back in their archives and check out Beach Boys Animal Sounds. And don't listen to this guy. This
actually Pet Sounds.
Is wrong. He's wrong.
But real quick, to point out, yes, I was originally, when I started this podcast, we were actually supposed to have I was supposed to have Dave and Jason on to talk about Pet Sounds by the Beach Boys. And we could never just get it timed up. I had Jason on one time, and we talked about
wrestling,
the our top 10 wrestling themes. You know, so but we never really could just get it worked out. So finally, they got to do Pet Sounds, which I'm happy that he did. Because Pet Sounds actually was not an album I had ever heard.
Pet Sounds, that's right. Thank you for correcting me. I know what I'm talking about.
Fine. Okay, so I will admit, I've only heard 2 songs so far off of this list. That was obviously Kokomo and I Don't Want to Miss a Thing. This next one I've not even heard. It came out in 1985 by The Clash called Cut the Crap. I'd have to go back and listen to it to see if it was really bad or whatnot. All right, here we go. Let's keep in with the 80s in 1985. I'm going to see. Wait a minute. Yeah. This was actually the title track to his album of the same name, and it was a pretty big hit back then. Phil Collins, It's a Studio.
My Phil Collins is on that list.
Yep.
That man fired. Like Shanti says, he's fired. I got nope. So my mom is a huge Phil Collins fan. Huge, okay. And I grew up again, my parents listened to everything. But I can remember very specifically my mom listened to Phil Collins, and I can remember her playing it in the car and listening to it on the radio. I loved Phil Collins. I mean, just like I love the Beach Boys, but that should not. What is wrong with this writer?
Well, this writer,
he's got a very particular type of palette for music. He's not like me, where I listen to a lot of genres and appreciate music differently.
Exactly, Rolando. I do too.
That's right, Laurent. I can't talk. I'm so mad at this writer. I can't even talk straight. We love Phil Collins.
Let's
love
go ahead.
This writer.
I skipped a few of these because one was like Chris Cornell. I've not listened to Chris Cornell except for I think it was I can't remember what band he was in now. Anyways, but I kind of keep like an 80s theme going here because the next one he's got on here was actually a 1989 album, if I remember right, by this artist, and that is Billy Joel. We didn't start the fire.
Yeah.
What?
What is wrong with is okay. I want to almost like get in his brain. I want to sit him down and be like, one, how were you raised? I want to know, did you like music? Did your parents allow you to listen to all that music? And then what made you why? I love Billy Joel's "You Can't Start the Fire." Like,
Right.
and that song is so still iconic because it's so true of today still.
Right.
Because none of us started this fire, and it came from before, and it came
Right.
before. And it's just like,
and Rolando, I'm gonna help date. I'm gonna date you by putting on that in there, but I turned 15 in September of that year, in '85. So,
well, congratulations, y'all.
No, I turned 14. Sorry, I was 1 year younger. Now this one I can agree with.
Oh, this one you can agree with? Okay,
I can agree with this next one. Kiss, music from the Elder.
I'm just not sure. I'm just I want to see this man and just have some polite conversation, and then I'm gonna tell him he's fired.
Yes, exactly.
Well, we'll move on here.
Already, I don't know where he came up with this list. This is definitely not the list you would ever hear from me ever. Like,
well, let's keep this moving along. And John Lennon and Yoko Ono, the two versions.
Okay, I can kind of understand because a lot of people didn't like her, did not like her. So I don't know what perspective he came from. Either he just didn't like music, or was it because he just didn't like her?
Well, how about this one? How about Lou Reed and Metallica with Lulu? I've not heard it, so I can't. I've got nothing.
I'm watching Kim's face, and I'm like, I think her and I are like, we don't have a poker face tonight, and we're like, nope, gloves are off. The guy's already on it.
Well, how about this 1991 REM with Shiny Happy People?
Mm-mm.
Or how about the whole album Dirty Work by the Rolling Stones? Or how about another?
If that's what I think that is, it's next. I'm going to fire this person 5 times.
Because
I already fired him. You're getting 10.
I mean, I don't know. This song got me into this band, and for somehow, Marconi plays the bomba, listening to the radio.
Yeah.
We built this city by Starship.
Okay, hold on. Does this guy like work for Rolling Stone or something? Like, what?
It's ultimate classic rock. I'll send you the article.
I don't know who this writer is, but I do not agree with his unbiased opinion.
Oh, I forgot this song was on here. Oh, how about Sticks, ladies and gentlemen, with Domo Morigato, Mr. Rabato.
We could have just done a whole episode just on this article and how much.
This next one I can also agree with. This is after Van Halen 3. This is their album with Gary Cherone from Extreme. I've listened to it, and it sounds like, besides Eddie playing, it sounds like an Extreme album. But here we go. How about Wings with the song Silly Love Songs?
Silly Love. That song?
Yeah, I think so. I love how he says it isn't all that terrible. It's got a monster hook, and it's better than 95% of those earlier songs he has given so much crap about. But the instant tunefulness immediately became more fuel for the haters.
What haters? Let's think about who's really hating here.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
He's like a walking contradiction.
Well, we also got Neil Young on here with his 1982 album Trans. Not heard it, so I can't say, but I do like Neil Young. Or how about a soundtrack? He's got a full soundtrack on here. Which is Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band soundtrack. This is the one that has Aerosmith's Come Together on there.
Yeah.
Aerosmith doing Come Together.
Wow. This guy, I want to know what music he even likes because it's obvious. Like maybe he's just a brown noser and just likes the classics. Maybe he's like listens to Beethoven and Mozart and Lundgren, and we're good.
And luckily, that is the end of that freaking list.
I'm glad.
Because he's about to take it and set it on fire.
Yeah, well, she better not get to my tablet.
We didn't start the fire.
Anyways, let's move on to some more of the news.
Happier news, I hope, because that one just kind of got us.
Well, kind of sort of is. Yesterday, on January 16th, we just found out that Lisa Marie Presley's life will be honored in a public memorial service at Graceland. And that will be held Sunday, January 22nd at 9 a.m. in Memphis. You can visit graceland.com for more information. In lieu of flowers, the family encourages all who wish to send something to do so in the form of a donation to the Elvis Presley Charitable Foundation.
That makes sense.
I'm not going to read this full article. I'm just going to read the headline on it. But Lisa Marie Presley's twin daughters, and this is with, what's his name? Lockwood,
yeah.
They won't go back home to where she suffered cardiac arrest. Can't say I don't blame them.
Wait, so they're not going back to Graceland?
No, Calabasas.
Wait, I'm confused.
She had her cardiac arrest there in California.
I thought she was in Graceland when she had her passed away. Oh, because she traveled back to Graceland and then she traveled back for the Globes.
Right.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Right. Yeah. So they won't return to their home there.
They must have been. So she must have had a separate home in California to stay in.
Yes, she did. And real quick, we're gonna go over a few birthdays real quick.
I know a couple of good birthdays. Both alive and passed away, sadly.
Right. Probably got at least one of those alive and one of the passed aways on here for sure. First of all, American statesman, scientist, and author Benjamin Franklin was born in 1706 on this day.
Yes, he's also on a $100 bill, people.
Yep. Also, U.S. gangster Al Capone in 1899.
Chicago.
Also, actor/actress, because I'm still old school. She would have been 101 today, ladies and gentlemen. Betty White.
Yep.
The legendary Betty White.
Yes. But celebrate his 92nd birthday, born in 1931.
Knock on wood.
Huh?
I said knock on wood.
We all know him as the Dark Lord of the Sith.
Yes, we do.
But he's also Mufasa.
Yes, he is.
And many other voices, too.
Oh, yes. And he was also in Coming to America 1 and 2. I've not seen the second one, but I remember in the first one. Also born today, real quick.
Oh, did you say his name? I think you missed
James Earl Jones.
I'm like, wait. That's very important, Scott. We love this man. This legend in his own right. Like him and Morgan Freeman have voices that just make me like stand still and attention. Like, no.
Exactly. Also born today, who's also age 92, I just want to point this one out, is Douglas Wilder, the first black governor elected in the U.S.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Freaking awesome. Puppeteer Sherry Lewis was born today in 1933. Talk show host Maury Povich.
Oh, okay.
He's 84.
Once upon a time, his show was really good, people.
Yep. Also, Muhammad Ali was born today in 1942.
Mm-hmm.
Comedian Andy Kaufman.
Yes.
Was born in 1949, best known for his role in Taxi.
Yes.
However, if you are also a wrestling fan, he also took on Jerry the King Lawler in Mid-South Wrestling.
Yes, he did.
I think it was Mid-South.
Yeah, I think it was Mid-South.
I hope I'm right about that. I listened to Jim Cornette enough. I should know.
Yeah.
Real quick, 68th birthday, born in 55, was musician Steve Earle. Turning 66 today, born in 1957, comedian and host of the Family Feud, Steve Harvey.
The current Family Feud.
Current Family Feud, yes. Age 61. Known for a lot of movies, Jim Carrey.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And also former U.S. First Lady, Michelle Obama was born in 1964, age 59 today. Happy birthday to them all.
Yes.
Ended to heaven, Miss Betty.
Yes. But yeah, it's been fun. I'm not even gonna go over the history. We usually sometimes we have like on this day in history, but we're right over an hour.
Yes.
we haven't got to the Mandalorian yet.
I know, and I saw somebody talking about let's do the truffle shuffle.
Right? Yes, we over from Fulcrum Entertainment do the truffle shuffle.
We're getting to the truffle shuffle. We'll get there.
But
I'm not putting out my shirt. My dad is in the chat.
Yeah. that might get us kicked off YouTube.
Shanti, if she would be here, she'd be like, that's my girl. But no, wait for the show.
Yeah, right. So Kimberly.
Yes.
First impression on watching the trailer for season 3 Mandalorian.
Now, are you talking the halftime trailer before?
Yes, I'm talking what we watched.
Well, we also watched it on YouTube too.
I know. I said first impression, not what we watched second.
My first impression was, what's going on with the Jedi and why are they going to Coruscant? What does that have to do with
Coruscant.
the Mandalorian?
Coruscant, not croissant.
Coruscant. What does that have to do with the Mandalorian?
Shoot, I don't even have the thing turned up. I can hit. Please get your.
Yeah, exactly.
Nicole, first impression.
Yes.
Ta-da! Is there words?
Yeah, right. Okay, well, I can actually resonate with Kim's first impression because we're waiting. You're waiting. Talking heads are not shutting up on ESPN. It's like, dude, just shut up. I want this trailer to shut up. It's halftime. Give me the trailer. And then they go to this commercial break. I'm like, really?
They even said, though, on the opposite side of this commercial.
I know. And finally, we get it. So, first watching, I'm like, well, wait a minute, what? I mean, everything else I'm kind of excited for. And then, like she said, the Jedi thing, I'm like, what? And of course, my first thought of all the, okay, for people who haven't seen this, it's a spoiler time. The different colored Mandalorians, the first thing that popped in my head was that scene, the scooter scene in Book of Boba with the multicolored Power Ranger scooters.
Yeah, but
that just popped in my head. Yeah. But I wrote it up real quick on, well, the different Mandalorians all over the place. Everybody's got different colors,
yeah.
Stuff.
Yeah.
So upon going to YouTube and finding it again,
we rewatched it again and figured out what everything has to do with it.
We're watching it again, and I'm like, the Jedi part, I'm like, that's from Grogu's point of view. So I think we're getting some more
on him. Yeah, on Grogu, yes.
Yeah, like my dad, who are not Star Wars fan, this guy's point of view.
Yes.
I don't know. Brady. Kim, if you
mine won't come up live chat either.
Really?
So no.
I bet YouTube changed something.
Yeah, I even restarted my phone, turned off my phone. And
all right, hold on. I'm gonna do this live. I'm going into this right now live.
Tell YouTube to get you.
Exactly.
He's right. You can't.
No. So
it just says top chat. Did we have an update today? I don't know about.
I just updated it. I turned my phone off after I updated the app, and
you updated the app, so they changed it.
Yeah. Because
honestly, he really uses the top anyways. I thought naturally most people probably use the live chat. So.
Yeah.
Well, most people don't know about it, and now it stays on top chat.
Yeah.
Which kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm excited for The Mandalorian season 3. I'm cautiously optimistic. That's the words I'm looking for. I'm curious if that's really Coruscant. I do believe it is.
Yeah, I mean,
all the droids in the cantina. Oh my gosh, I got so excited. And the mini Babu Frigs, I'm like, ah! And then the monkey lizard. I'm like thinking a couple things go through my brain when it comes to monkey lizards. Okay, one, I think of Cam Rain Semi Productions with Bub, and then I think of Salacious Rum and his the monkey lizard army. You know, so kudos to both of them. Please check them out, both of them on Twitter and on YouTube. They're both great in their own rights, and even Tom. I want to say his name's Tom from Rogue One Attractions. I wish R2 was in the thing because he could tell me right now. And he's also got like a monkey lizard. And I got so excited. Yeah, so many battle droids. So cool. So I'm cautiously optimistic. I know there's one thing I'm very curious about, and it's very hot topic at the same time. So when it comes to The Mandalorian, so we'll see how that one turns out. And if you know, you know. And if you don't, well, then I bet you better join a Discord or two, because then I'll tell you.
Yeah. Nicole pointed something out yesterday.
Yes.
Because I didn't actually see the poster right away. And so I dug up the poster. And wow, I love the fact that they got his cape burning.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm like, wait. So now that is probably the one thing I'm looking most forward to, is figuring out how that's burning. What's happening?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dune. No, The Mandalorian season 3.
So for me, obviously, the first thing that pops through my mind though, after the trailer gets done, is how many people who didn't watch Book of Boba. Wait a minute. How's he got Grogu back already? Yeah.
I saw a post today somebody had wrote, and I think I might have even retweeted it, or I meant to at least. And that is it said something like along the lines, if you're lost as to what happened, please see Book of Boba Fett episode . Right. That's what's put. And I'm like, yep. But here's the thing. Most Star Wars people the fans that follow Star Wars usually also know.
I know what we're talking about. Oh, I know what Brady's talking about. Not Dune itself, but Cara Dune.
Oh,
will they mention her absence? I doubt it. And if they do, it'll be real short.
And hopefully it will be done with respect and kindness. And I pray that Jon Favreau made sure of that, because that was his character. That was his. You're gonna make me want to wiggle that one.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, it will all depend on what Disney allows. I mean, obviously, we know Bob Iger's back, so.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how things go.
You know, how much can Iger change? And can he make it where maybe she goes back?
Maybe he would. I mean, that would be, I think, would be a hard sit down between him and KK and Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni.
Yeah.
And that's if he wants to return.
But yeah, I mean, the thing is like I said, I mean, I know everybody's kind of curious about how they're going to handle the Cara Dune. And I don't know. I mean, we're just going to have to wait and see, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, either it's going to be, either she's mentioned as, I mean, she could be away, which then leaves the opportunity to bring her back, which would be cool. Maybe they realize, maybe they're willing to give her a second chance.
Well, I think it's both ways. I think is she willing to give them also another opportunity?
Right. Yeah, that's true too. I mean, but
both ways.
Or do they just say she was killed doing some battle?
Yeah.
that one kind of boils. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know how I want this to be handled because I loved Carson. I loved the character. I respect certain things. So
I wonder what will, I mean, either or options.
Yeah.
What will it do to the fandom?
Oh yeah.
I hope, because I feel like for a while there was when all that happened was a complete trash dumpster.
Right.
And I don't want that again. And I'm kind of like, either this is going to bring us all together or they're going to separate us again. And that's what's going to stink.
Yeah.
And the problem is the separation could be bad this time.
Yeah. And I think Lucasfilm needs to be prepared for that too. I mean, thankfully we have the Bad Batch, which is turning out well, and or was done very well. So hopefully it'll be done well. And I am excited for it. Again, I'm optimistically cautious of it, but I'm excited for it at the same time.
Oh, I mean, after watching the second time, I'm definitely pumped for this. You know, like Yabala said, I mean, I'm ready, bring it on. You know, I mean, I'm not we're not watching Bad Batch, so that's nothing to us. You know, I wasn't into I didn't get into the Clone Wars part of it. I didn't get into season 7. I didn't get into Bad Batch season 1. So I've got no interest in this. But I'm you know, everybody that enjoys it, hey, I'm glad you enjoy it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's my cup of tea. So
I get it.
Bring on, you know, season 3 of Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And then I guess that will make a decision whether or not I keep Disney Plus or destroy it.
I will be keeping mine still because there's other things I like.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love Kim's look. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. She's over here going, like, dude, there's like all the cartoons on there.
Hey, I watched
vetoed.
Yeah, they're cartoons.
Yes, but my favorite's Frozen.
Still never seen it.
Scott, listen to me.
Never seen it.
Let it go.
I've never seen it. Never heard the song either.
Let it go. How have you not heard that song? Can't hold it back anymore.
Well, obviously now I have. Oh, here we go. Brady, I'm hype as fuck.
I like it. He's a ride or die.
A ride and die, exactly. I like though. I pick and choose to my liking. Right, Brady. I mean, exactly. You know, it's like I told Kim, you know, when it comes to the OT.
Yes.
Again, she knows I'm not a huge fan of the Ewoks.
No. But I am.
Okay, but again, you got to right. When we have it,
wow, I'm sandwiched in a really odd way right now.
Right. and I don't care. I'm not a big fan of the love story in Attack of the Clones. I don't care for 90% of that movie being the love story. Like, I don't need that crap in my Star Wars. I had love in Empire Strikes Back. I love you. I know. There we go.
The thing is,
that took care of it.
The thing is you had to have the backstory.
Thank you,
dude. The backstory could have been a friggin' a crawl of the backstory. That would have been fine.
You had to see how it all came about.
That's right.
You just cannot do the crawl of these two and then know and understand how this all came about, how the twins came about. It's like, yeah, they needed that love story.
Go, Kim, go.
All right, fine. I will say this then. Rose is still a bitch.
Really? Hey, he was dead.
She could have moved her ass over and let him up on the damn door.
Hey, he was being a gentleman and
malfunction.
Yeah, he was being a gentleman and letting her have the door.
All right, anyways. Well, how many more can of worms can Scott open up tonight?
I don't know, but we're about to have to rename this thing Derailed.
Rails? We don't need rails. Yes, I changed part of the line there.
Yes.
All right. Well, shall we get into 1985?
Yes. Goonies, never say die.
Well, it had a budget of $19 million.
Oh, wow.
Estimated, by the way. In the box office worldwide, it took in $64.5 million.
Holy.
It was released in the U.S. June 7th, 1985.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Runtime is 1 hour and 54 minutes and had a rating of PG for parental guidance.
Oh, okay.
A really good family movie. Yep.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Over on Rotten Tomatoes, the overall rating by 63 reviews of critics is 76%, while the audience reviews or ratings out of 250,000 plus is 91%.
Yeah, that's probably more accurate.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, the thing is this is back in the day, like because of the newspaper, you know, they always had the Siskel and Ebert parts in there. And if I noticed they went 2 thumbs down, I'm like, oh, I probably like that movie. Because usually whatever they didn't like, I end up liking.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, well, if they don't like it, I definitely need to see this movie because I know I'll like it. Anyways.
Do we have to read the synopsis or can we just do it?
Well, before we get there, let's go ahead and talk about the cast real quick.
Yes.
Baby.
Now,
Sorry.
Sean Austin played Mikey.
Yes, he did.
Rudy. Sorry.
And as far as Sean Austin, he was also Sam in Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Yep. And
I chose this one because of something else, mainly for me and Lunar Girl. He played Bob in Stranger Things season 2.
yes, I actually have that wrote
Bob.
down, by the way, in my notes.
Josh Brolin.
Yes. Thanos. Sorry.
Played Brandon Walsh. Oh, by the way, Mikey was Michael Walsh, just real quick. And Nicole just, yes, he played Thanos in the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking through, I'm like, okay, this is a bunch of Avenger movies, so I'll let mention how to say.
Really?
But still.
He also played a young Agent K in Men in Black 3.
Yeah. I remember him playing the young K.
Now, Jeff Cohen played Chunk.
Yes.
Or better known as... Huh?
Go ahead. Never mind. I'm sure
known
you'll...
as Lawrence Cohen. I was looking through some of his stuff he did up through 91 and nothing I recognize, so...
Yeah, he's gone on to be a lawyer. And actually, recently, he is also a lawyer for one of his fellow castmates in here that just won a Golden Globe and a Critics Award, which we'll get there. We can mention that.
All right. Well, also in this movie is Corey Feldman, plays Mouth.
Man, I kind of understand Mouth.
First name is Clark, which we finally hear. I think this is the first time I actually caught Mrs. Walsh calling him Clark.
Yeah.
The whole time ever watching this, I'm like, I don't ever remember hearing his first name.
Yeah.
But Corey Feldman has played Edgar Frog in The Lost Boys.
Yes. Oh my God. I love
it. Teddy Duchamp in Stand By Me. Obviously, I could have also picked out License to Drive movie. He's been in a lot of movies, folks.
Corey, man.
Right.
Corey's.
Now I'm probably going to destroy this. So Nicole, if you know how to say it better, I'll let you do it after I butcher it. So Ki Hugh Kwan,
also known as a Golden Globe winner and now a Critics' Choice winner.
Nice.
Got his awards this past week. Yep. He won big time. I'm so excited for him. Also known as Data in Goonies, but he was also in Indiana Jones.
Right. He was Short Round in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Yep.
And he also played the character Kim in Encino Man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Right. So did you guys see the picture of him and Brandon Fraser hugging? Like they were so excited. He was so oh man, go back and watch the video of it. It's really it's good.
Cool. Carrie Green, she played Andy, or
Andy.
Andrea Teresa Carmichael. Like, when do we hear that full name? We don't.
We don't.
Right? The only time I hear about Carmichael, there's what 80s movie? I want to say it's a Molly Ringwald movie, something about Carmichael. Or maybe, no, I was wrong. Winona Ryder, it's something about Carmichael. Yes. The only time I've ever heard that.
Anyway, and Carrie Green played Maggie in Lucas.
Lucas, yep.
Martha Plimpton played Steph, Andy's best friend.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
She was Julie in Parenthood.
Okay.
Anne Ramsey played Mama Fratelli.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, what an interesting character. And
right.
I like her for that.
But Anne Ramsey also played in Mama from the Train.
Yeah.
She also, I noticed, was in Any Which Way But Loose.
Oh yeah, she wasn't she?
And yeah, so I mean, she definitely had a career. Unfortunately, right after Throw Mama from the Train was released, she passed away.
Oh.
From throat cancer, I think is what I read.
Yeah.
Robert Davey, he played Jake Fratelli, and that is the one who was escaping jail.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was Big Johnson in Die Hard.
Really?
And Franz Sanchez in License to Kill.
Oh my gosh.
I knew to pull that one because she's a huge James Bond nut.
Yes, I am.
As far as my James Bond goes, it's Roger Moore, and that's it. Thank you very much.
Out. We all have all of our favorite James Bonds. It's okay.
Here.
Just make sure the martini is correct. Okay.
Exactly.
So Kim, who's your favorite James Bond?
I really don't have one. I like them all. From Sean Connery to Daniel Craig.
I think they each bring something different to the role, which can be discussed.
Well, the thing is, I need to watch them all. Obviously, I've not seen the Sean Connery ones. And after Roger Moore was done, I only saw 3 of his movies. Yeah. After he was done, I did not see Timothy Dalton or any of the other guys. So
yeah, Timothy Dalton only done 2, and that was The Living Daylights and License to Kill, because at that time the Bond franchise was in uproar about who was going to get what.
I'm going, you what? Scott, what? When you go back and you watch this whole thing, I'm sure you will enjoy. You're killing me, Smalls, but that's the wrong movie that we're talking about.
Anyways, Joe Pantolino, I think it is. I apologize for butchering it. He played Francis Fratelli, Mama's favorite son.
Yes.
Yep.
But he also, which I did this while we were watching the movie The Kim, because we just recently watched this before the New Year, because we thought we were going to be covering this movie.
We will eventually.
We will eventually get to it sometime this year, I'm sure. But he played Doc Robbins in Eddie and the Cruisers.
Mm-hmm.
And he was also Cypher in The Matrix.
Really? Oh my!
Yes.
Oh.
All right. Well, this is gonna murder me because I have a hard time trying to say this guy's last name, but former NFL player.
Yes.
You think I would have actually looked up what friggin' teams he played for? I didn't.
Oakland Raiders is one of them, and he's a 2-time world champion.
That's why I didn't look. That's why I didn't. Oh, at that point, I probably would have just erased him off of the deal.
Hey, as part of his accomplishments.
I'm doing that to Brady on purpose.
I know you are.
Brady's a huge Raiders fan.
I know he is.
You're welcome, Brady, that I knew that fun fact.
Also, at least he played for the Oakland Raiders.
Yeah.
Not these fake Raiders that have been to LA and Vegas.
Hey.
This is LA. All I wanted. Sorry. Tangent songs happens.
Oh my gosh, I know I'm gonna kill his last name. Matt Zuzak? John Matt?
I think that's about right.
At this point, I wish I just had the deal. I could just send it to Brady, invite Brady to have him come on real quick just to say his name. But anyways, he played Sloth.
Yes.
He also was Killjoy in the Ice Pirates.
Oh.
And Stain in One Crazy Summer.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Actually, he passed away though in '89, so he had a very short-lived career because he passed away.
He did,
which is sad. But I loved what they did with the makeup of Sloth, and one of them something about the animatronics of the eyes and the ears, and I think that was just amazing. I thought they did a great job.
Yeah.
And Steve Aiton, which is also the great friggin' line from this movie. Steve Aiton as Troy, the punk ass.
Yeah, up and skirt that jerk.
Pretty much all I got when I was looking through, he pretty much has gone on to writing, and he helped write Burlesque. That had Christina Aguilera and Cher.
Cher, yeah.
Yep. So this one is going to be fun for Kim because this is Lupe Ontiveros.
Yep.
She played Rosalita.
Yes, she did.
Who was at one point being, Mouth was giving her the translation. So to make sure to pack all the drugs up in their proper locations because you never want to mix your drugs. Anyways.
And the torture chamber upstairs.
For people who have been with us for a while will know Lupe. She was Carmen in the movie Blood In, Blood Out.
Yes.
And she also played the character Yolanda
Selena.
Yes, for the movie Selena.
Oh, nice. You just said I'm like, one, I like the actress. I respect the actress. Okay, she did her job, but that woman,
yeah, because that was the fan. She was the fan, the real life fan club. Yolanda was a real life fan club manager who killed Selena.
Yeah,
she is like the equal to Colonel Tom Parker last week. Like,
yes, she is.
I think she's worse.
Yes, she is.
Oh my gosh, we forgot. All right, well, let me hit the last one here, and then we'll pause for a minute so we can go back to show and tell because we forgot to do it.
Yes, we did.
Or do we want to end with show and tell?
All right, we'll end with show and tell.
Yeah, let's end with it.
So you guys stay tuned for show and tell, people. Mary Ellen Trainor played Mrs. Walsh.
Yep.
She was the police psychiatrist Stephanie Woods in all 4 Lethal Weapon movies.
Yeah, she was also in Die Hard, too.
She was also Gail Wallens in Die Hard.
Yep.
Now, as far as director goes, it was directed by Rich Donner.
Yes.
Best known for, at this point, Superman 1 and 2.
Yes.
Mainly 1.
For Sloth, yes.
Right.
When he goes, hey.
As far as the writers go on this, the story was written by Steven Spielberg and screenplay by Chris Columbus.
Yep.
And as always in a Steven Spielberg movie, you always have also as executive producer Steven Spielberg, but also Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah.
Love the look.
Yeah.
We will give credit where credit's due, okay?
Well, I mean, what did she really? I mean, what was she doing back then? Getting Spielberg his coffee, probably.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, coffee is important.
That's true. It is.
On that. You better have it right.
Exactly. If it's not right,
with me. Our cruise director would agree with me.
All right, so I love doing it this way because I know it just drives Kim crazy when I'm reading the plot as written in either.
Kim crazy?
Oh yeah, I love reading the plot synopsis either from Wikipedia or from IMDb, and when things get missed, Kim loses her mind, and it just makes the show. It does. It just makes the show. So let's get into the plot a little bit.
Okay.
Facing foreclosure of their homes in the Goondocks area of Astoria, Oregon, to an expanding country club, a group of children call themselves the Goonies gather for a final weekend together.
Hello. They don't just up and gather. They all meet at the house, and this house is rigged tremendously good to where you put a bowling ball down, you have a chicken lay the egg, and then you open the gate. So they all gather here. That's right.
And unfortunately, if you close all the doors, your buddy Dana will destroy your screen door.
Exactly.
Data, not Dana.
Data,
oh my gosh.
yeah, Data.
I knew what you meant.
I know, but I like to be correct. The Goonies are Mikey Walsh, his older brother Brand, Data, Mouth, and Chunk, and later on Andy and Steph.
His older brother was not starting out as the Goonies. His older brother never became part of the Goonies until his mother sent him out because Mikey decided they wanted to go exploring.
I'm with Mikey. I would have went exploring and asked my brother. I would have been like, peace out.
Oh, heck yeah. I would have destroyed his freaking tires too.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the problem is I'm the older brother, so, or I would have been I was the older one in my family, so obviously it would have been the other way around. And been like, I would have been just like Brand being pissed off that they cut my tires.
Yeah.
But then again, oh, wait, no, I filled my written test first.
And then,
twice.
Yeah.
Before, but then the driving portion of it, I aced the first time.
Yeah. And then you forgot that.
Hey, I didn't forget nothing. I'm reading this hypnosis.
That Andy was originally in the car with that stuck up purse.
Jerk.
That's
jerk.
Kim.
Exactly.
Kim.
Right.
We haven't got to the attic yet.
Okay, so that was the other thing. They were in the attic going through this, and Mikey was going, no, we don't want this broken. And then he finds this map, and since Chunk is clumsy, he says, here, Chunk, hold this. 4, 3, 2, 1. And they find the map.
I think she does the synopsis better. I'm entertained. Let's keep going.
But we got to back up a little bit because we forgot they broke the statue. And
what did you guys? And they thought they were in trouble, and it was the not the
right.
what.
But but when they glued it back on,
they glued it wrong. Upside down.
You know, the funny thing is I actually remember my mom didn't have one, but I remember friends of ours having statues like that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, obviously they weren't glued upside down, but yeah. I mean, they Chunk. The funny part was Chunk caught the statue and then placed it on the edge of the coffee table. Boom, down it goes. Of course, what's the part that breaks?
Yeah, exactly.
The lower section of the man.
Exactly.
Including the balls.
Yeah.
I'll say that much.
So,
and the statue was enjoying like a no pants Wednesday because it had no pants.
Yeah. What I love about that whole part is when Mikey says, "Oh, great, that's my mom's favorite part."
Yeah.
And Shanti's here, and so is Isaac.
Welcome.
Hey, yeah, you guys pretty much just got us right in the beginning. But yeah, no, I love that part when Mikey said, "That's my mom's favorite part." And I was like, oh my God.
And then just after they glued it upside down, in comes Mom with Rosita, and asked if anybody could interpret Spanish. And Mouth says, I can.
Oh, fucking Mouth. Oh my God. So... Go in the first room. She's all describing where she wants all the clothes and how she wants to put away. And then Mouth's like, okay, the top drawer's got the what? Marijuana. Second drawer's got the friggin' the heroin. Yeah.
Cocaine. And then the third one has the heroin. Keep them separated and put them in boxes.
And then we get upstairs to the attic. You know, the attic's partially open. She's explained, oh yeah, no one goes in Mr. Walsh into the attic. Mr. Walsh don't want no one up in the attic. And all of a sudden, Mouth's like there's sex torture
the
torture chamber up there pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, this movie.
Again, after dark.
Yeah, right.
Goonies style.
I mean, pretty much the way Mouth described it is pretty much what was that thing that just came out a few years ago?
Oh yeah.
It was a 3-book series, and then they turned into movies.
Shades of Grey.
Yeah, that. So then she's looking up, and Mouth touches her screen, scares the living shit out of her.
All she could say was, "I entered a crazy house."
Right. Well, no, she didn't say that until after we go into the next room where all the cleaning supplies are in this closet.
Yeah.
And Mouth is like, "Oh, well, hey, if you do a bad job, you're going to be locked in here with no food, no water for 2 weeks."
Cockroaches.
Yeah, and cockroaches. Like, fuck, really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, like, good Lord, really? And that's when she said, "Yeah, I've entered a crazy house."
And then her and Rosita has to go to the market. So
yeah, that's when Mrs. Walsh notices. Well, we thought she noticed the statue,
but she didn't.
It's the chips on the friggin' floor.
Yeah,
and that's where she tells Brand that he needs to watch her.
Yeah,
his little brother, and now Mikey should not be outside because of his asthma.
And then that's
typical mom stuff.
Yeah, and this is after all of them has gathered at this house. So then they find these treasures.
So can I just continue on here with the plot?
As long as it covers it.
Rummaging through the Walsh's attic.
Okay.
They come across a 1632 doubloon and an old treasure map purporting to lead to the treasure of the legendary pirate One-Eyed Willie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Believed to be located somewhere nearby. Mikey considers One-Eyed Willie to be the original Goonie. He actually doesn't say that until they're actually there.
Yeah.
Seeing the treasure as their last chance to save their homes, the kids overpower and find Brand and make their way to an abandoned restaurant on the coast that coincides with the map. Brand soon follows alongside Andy, a cheerleader with a crush on him, and Steph, Andy's friend. The group eventually discovers that the derelict restaurant is a hideout of the Fratelli crime family. Francis, Jake, and their mother.
There's a whole bunch that's even left out of that.
Okay, well, we'll stop right there before it gets into the Goonies find a tunnel.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch.
So one thing I did is most of this movie was filmed up in Astoria, Oregon.
Yes.
However, the one part where they took off riding their bikes and then they spotted the rock out in the ocean. Mm-hmm. I'm like looking at I didn't say it to you, but I'm looking at my mom going, "Wait a minute, I've been there.
Yeah,
I've been to that rock. I know where that rock's at. It is not in Astoria.
No,
it's not. It's south of Astoria. It's down the beach line, lower.
Yeah,
a lot lower." And sure enough, when I looked it up, it is Haystack Rock on the Oregon coast.
Yeah,
which is freaking cool because I love listening to Kim to describe high tide and low tide. But during low tide, you can actually walk all the way out to Haystack Rock.
Yes. And I think you can find starfish stuck to that rock.
You can find starfish stuck almost anywhere.
I know. They have suctions. They do. They do. They're shaped like stars, and they've got like suction cups on their 5 stars that they can just attach themselves to whatever they want. And they are very rough. I will tell you that. They're rough when you touch them.
That's what she said.
Oh, fuck.
Again, that's what she said. Get your motor running. Heading on the highway.
Looking for adventure.
You're welcome.
Okay.
You sure?
Yeah.
You positive?
I'm positive.
But yeah, okay, so all right. What else do you want? We're getting ready to hit the tunnel.
No, because they go in and then the bad guys are in there that have already escaped to jail, and the mom said, well, Chunk comes in because before this he actually seen the car with the bullet holes. Yeah,
was going to explore for food. I get Chunk. Chunk and I are like friends, I think.
Mm-hmm. And so he's trying to. They're in there, and Mom has set them down and asked as asked before they set them down. What they want is water, and then Mouth says he wants something else. I can't remember what it was. And that's when
he orders a friggin' meal.
Yeah.
And that's when Mama says, "Oh, we don't serve tongue here."
Yeah.
Yeah. Mouth was being a smartass.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly. So then she says, "Is water all you want?" Yes. So then she brings these water things, or what looks like water, which I don't think is water, to them. And
it's all yellow.
Yeah. And Chunk is trying to explain to them what he's seen, and by that time, here comes the bad guys, and they're going out the restaurant. So then they're hiding as they leave, and then they go back into the restaurant and start exploring, and that's when they start exploring the basement. They not only find a dead guy in the freezer, but
wait.
Ice cream. Damn it.
That's the reason why they did. That's the reason why they found it, because freaking Chunk smelled ice cream.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
Chunk and I could be best friends.
Chunk smells ice cream. So then they open it. He's going all kinds of different flavors. But before this, I missed one part.
Oh my gosh. How dare you?
That's
I need that soundbite. How dare you?
That's right. Because before all this, the first time they're in meeting these criminals, Fratellis, thank you. Fratellis. Mike goes down because he has to use the little boy's room, and then sees the one brother Fratelli feeding something else. Then
he's feeding Sloth.
Sloth. Well, we didn't know it was Sloth at the time. We don't know that till later in the movie.
That's true.
So as he's sitting there hiding, as he's coming out, the mousetrap goes wham right on his toe, and he's going trying to keep it quiet while the brother's sitting there singing.
I remember that. You singing in Italian. Yeah.
Well, since you brought that up, Kim, as soon as this wants to reload, because I'm sure it's not gonna. Yeah, I'll have to bring it up again. So give me a moment. Go ahead, keep going, Kim.
So then they go back. He goes back up, and that's, like I said, that's when they exit the restaurant. Then they hide in this log, wait for them to leave, and then that's when they go back in and start exploring more. And that's when they explore the basement. They find Chunk, being the klutz he is, decides he had bumped into the water cooler, and knocked it over and broke it.
Right, but that helps.
Yeah, it does. It helps because that's how they find it.
Okay, so let me sidebar real quick into what you were talking about, or what Nicole was talking about with the guy singing. Robert Davey, obviously, who played, that was the actor.
Yeah.
He is a trained opera singer, came up with the idea where he sings to Sloth from Giacomo Puccini's opera Madama Butterfly.
Yeah.
That is a really cool fun fact I did not know.
Yeah, that's why when you brought that up, I was like, oh, I need to bring that back up. And of course, as soon as I jump back into IMDb, it freaking automatically reload. I'm like, really? I didn't need to reload at that moment. Anyways, continue on.
So they actually hear it, and he says, listen, and then they find the fireplace. But before they do, they have shoved poor Chunk and the dead body back in the freezer.
I know. Poor Chunk.
Yeah. And all they can do is, where's Chunk? So then they're sticking up. One of them sticking up. I can't remember. I think it was the older brother. was sticking up saying, Chunk, go get the police. So then Chunk says, okay, police.
Whoa,
So,
whoa, whoa, no. That's after he's out of the.
he gets out of the freezer.
Right.
He's out of the freezer. And they tell him where they're at, because this is after they found the passageway underneath the logs in the fireplace.
And you can't forget when he tried calling the police first before leaving. And they didn't believe him.
Nope.
Oh, and fun fact though, they were talking. The police officer was also in Gremlins, and he was also talking about Gremlins. Also, that was quoted from the Gremlins.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Also, real quick, just another fun fact: Jeff Cohen, who played Chunk, I know we're not there yet, but during that confession scene where he's confessing all this stuff and crying and stuff,
that's coming up.
Right, he thought of his mother dying to generate tears during his confession scene with the Fratellis.
Oh wow,
that's again. I mean, for as young as he was in that point of the movie, as an actor, to be able to do that at that young age, holy crap!
Yeah,
that's good. Anyways, continue on, Kim.
Anyway, so Chunk finds.
We'll just let you do the synopsis. I'm not even going back to it.
So Chunk then finds the window, sneaks out the window. Down comes the family, and they say somebody's been here because the water cooler has been broken. So then they start searching, and then he makes his way to the road, misses one car, and flags down the second car. Tells this car that there's criminals back there and he can describe them, what they look like. And behold, it's the Fratellis.
The light.
Yep.
So again, since you're there, another fun fact at this moment, when Chunk first sees Jake Fratelli's face when he approaches the car, the Hebrew prayer he says was actually improvised by Jeff Cohen.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
The word he says, or not Jeff, it should have been Jeff Cohen. It should have been the other guy.
Yeah.
Dina, what was his? Robert. Anyways,
yeah.
The brother.
Yeah.
Anyways, it means blessed are you, God.
Yep.
What he was saying, and it's the start to many common Jewish prayers, including the prayers over wine, bread, and the lighting of Sabbath candles.
Oh wow. Yeah. So then they get out of the vehicle and shove him in the back and take him back to the restaurant and starts interrogating him. And during the interrogation, they have a blender threatening to cut off his fingers. And then they say, spill your guts. And then that's when he spills the guts about every mistake he's made from the time he can remember till now.
Yep, that was hilarious.
That was hilarious. I mean, he's confessing to things and you're like, wow.
So then one of the brothers says, I kind of like this kid. And then that's when mom says, put him down with your brother. So then he puts him down with the brother, which we later know is Sloth or something.
Yeah, Sloth.
And while he's down there, Sloth is watching this pirate movie, and Chunk is so scared he's going up and down in the chair, and Sloth is going
Okay, real quick, I want to jump back to one thing. When Chunk was running around the forest, I love this part, running toward the road in the dead of night. He says, I'm not all alone in the dark. I like the dark. I love the dark. Mm-hmm. Then Ducks crawls under a tree branch, but I hate nature. I hate nature.
Yeah. So then he's bouncing up and down in this chair, and Sloth is just enjoying this. And then his chocolate or advertisement of chocolate or something comes on, and Sloth says, oh, you like chocolate too. So then he he pretty much gives him a baby Ruth.
Chunk gives him a baby Ruth, right?
Baby Ruth. I love that scene. It's hilarious. Again, as y'all can see, I'm just snacking because I get hungry.
That's fine.
It was a very relatable. Honestly, Chunk and Sloth are like my two favorite characters, honestly, of the Goonies. Because they're just, I totally understand them. Food, TV, movies. Here you go. Like, I get it. And they're loyal. completely.
Right.
So, oh my gosh. So when he was giving him the chocolate, I'm like, I don't know if y'all saw, if you were here just a few minutes ago, I was eating a piece of chocolate. So I understand him. And I love that scene between him, Sloth, and Chunk, because that's a real connection that we're going to see bloom later.
Yep.
Right.
Definitely. And I think that's also when we get to really see, like, Sloth gets to finally see what real love is, real care is for somebody, and another human being good to him versus the way Fratelli's, hey, mama, rock me. And it's really fake. I think he really gets to see what genuine and how authentic Chunk is, which means kudos to Cohen because he played that character phenomenally.
Yes. And then during all this time, they're exploring the cave below, and why they're exploring during this time, they find a waterfall, thinking it's the treasure, goes through.
Whoa. Before you get there, I mean, this is after they encountered the part where they uncovered bats, right?
No, the bats is after the wishing well.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, it's after the wishing well, because that's where the famous line comes, Goonies never say die, because Mike is convincing,
Mikey, right.
Mikey is convincing them to stay instead of taking the rope up that Troy had actually offered them.
Okay, but let's back up for a minute, because one thing, they come across one section where they are around a bunch of friggin' pipes.
Oh yeah.
The pipe scene. Yeah. I have heard that those scenes was direct. The person directing all that though was Steven Spielberg. You know what I mean? Yeah, he produced it, but he was part of those scenes. Even though Dahmer gets 100% credit, he was involved with those scenes very actively.
Right. I know I read somewhere in here that the kids actually had made a mention that sometimes it's hard because, according to director, let's see, right here. No, that's not it. Anyways, that yes, Spielberg had directed them on some things, and that the two, him and Don are so different on how they direct.
Right.
So, yeah. So then she sends his sweater up, and
I love that. I'm like, do it, Andy. Go, Andy. I love that part.
Yep. And this is after Steph's glasses get broke and she can't see.
And she kisses somebody.
Yeah, that's when they get to the point, bathroom break, anybody? And they all go this way.
And Mikey's like, okay, little boy's room, little girl's room. And then Brand starts going, and he's like, Brand. And Brand's like, men's room. So, and then here come Data and Mouth, like where you guys go? We're going to the men's room, Mikey.
Yeah.
So then Mikey goes in there too, and then all of a sudden, Andy starts calling for Brand, and he's like, pretty much he sends Mikey because, like, go see, pretty much, I can't remember what the word was.
Yeah, go see what she's bellowing about.
Mm-hmm.
And so he sends Mikey, and Mikey walks in there, and yep, he gets to make out with Andy.
Yeah. He's going, oh!
Oh, I love Steph's reaction because, I mean, she doesn't say a friggin' word about it.
No, she doesn't.
He holds that sucker in. Good friend.
And then when Andy comes back out after Mikey comes out, he's all in a friggin' daze. This way, lover boy. And then she talks to Andy and like, I don't remember Brand having braces.
Yeah, because Steph says, okay, you've kissed, now tell.
Yeah.
So, and then that's where they continue through the cave, and they finally find, after getting through the pipes, the booby traps and everything,
which go Data for all the booby trap stuff.
Yeah.
And help all the booby traps and figuring them out.
Yep.
Now, one set of lines I want to bring up real quick, because I know we kind of got through it with the the wishing well section was when Mouth was like President Lincoln, George Washington, Martin Sheen, Steph Martin Sheen. That's President Kennedy, you idiot. You idiot. And Mouth like, well, same difference. I mean, he played Kennedy once.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean,
yeah.
The funny thing is like even in 86, like probably when I saw this, probably when it came out on DVD, on VHS.
Oh, VHS.
You know, I knew Martin Sheen had played Kennedy.
Yeah.
So for me, it was a funny line because of the fact I think I had actually a few friends who had seen that too and seen a Kennedy coin. A lot of them did make the comment, Martin Sheen.
Yeah. Well, and then also too, that's where they want to take the money from the wishing well. And I think it's Andy that says, no, these are other people's wishes.
No, that was Steph.
Oh, Steph. Yeah. Steph.
And then that's when Mouth says, well, this is my wish and it ain't come true. So I'm taking it back.
Yeah. Yeah. So then that's when they continue through after they decline going up the well, they continue through and they go through booby traps. And by this time, the Pertellis are actually chasing them or following them at this time. So the funniest part was slick shoes. And they're going, what, Data?
Oh, yeah. Again, I love him for all his pranks and booby traps and things that he could pull off. Love it.
Yeah. And then so the favorite son goes out and slips and goes, and Mom says, are you okay? And she said, I can't remember what his reaction was. Then the other one goes out and does the same thing.
Rolando, he's on his phone for YouTube and we're talking about the Goonies. So now, yes, the Goonie movie and other channels about Goonies coming up. Oh, Lord.
So yeah. So then they're having, because at this point they're in a chamber and they figure out on the map that if you make too many wrong mistakes, then you die. So then they put Andy up there and said,
"Oh, the piano
right,
part,
because she had
the
piano
lessons. Yeah,
right. Oh gosh,
and she keeps going like this, and she gets most of them.
She got the first one right.
Yeah, she got the first one right. The
second one wrong.
Third
one
right. Wrong. And then
fourth one right. And then Data runs into her, so that's a fifth one wrong.
Uh-huh.
And then the last one is right.
Yeah,
and all along, everything around them is going down, and it's
right.
Yeah,
right.
Anxiety is up, and people are like, "Oh my God, you got to do it right! You got to do it right!" And
yeah, and Mike goes up to her and says, "I believe you can do it, but one more wrong time, and we're all flattened."
Yeah, right.
And she gets the note. The thing goes down, they cross it. This is when they enter into this water slide. They water slide down into this,
so cool.
Yeah, and find the ship.
All right, cool. Go ahead.
I've heard really cool things about that ship. Like, I guess Donner, he had said that the kids had not seen the ship. They were keeping it quiet. Although later Corey Feldman said, no, some of us were little jackasses, basically, and went and looked at this prop, unbeknownst to Donner, which is so cool. I'm like, could you imagine seeing that pirate ship and
right?
The excitement. Wow.
One other little tidbit too from that is, where was it? I just saw it. Donner actually kept. First of all, One Eye Willie was actually made from real bone.
Really?
Yeah, and Donner kept the skull and the model of the ship.
Oh, wow.
Model of the ship, because the actual ship nobody wanted, so they actually destroyed the ship.
Right. And
nobody wanted that ship? Come on. Not even Disney.
I know.
He's wrong there. I'm like, did you not put the right price tag on it?
Well, here we go. One Eye Willie's ship. The Inferno was 105 feet long, took 2.5 months to construct. It was modeled after Errol Flynn's ship in the Sea Hawk in 1940. The sails required more than 7,000 square feet of material. The largest measured 30 foot by 60 foot. Some of the ship's rigging was recycled.
Oh, wow.
For the Pirates of the Caribbean ship at Disneyland, which was being renovated at the time.
Yes, because they did renovate that after Pirates of the Caribbean came out with Johnny Depp. as Captain Jack Sparrow.
So there's a little bit for you.
Yeah. So then they swim to this ship and they find this, looks like a chest, or well, first they go exploring the ship, get swords, and sure enough,
Data falls through.
So then Data falls through and starts exploring the cannon hub, or whatever they call it, the cannon thing. And they said, well, next time, why don't you use the stairs? So here they come down the stairs, and Data says, yeah, why didn't you tell me to use the stairs?
Why didn't you tell me to use the stairs? Like, I can hear him, and it's just
So then they follow it, because they look at the map, and all it is just a printout of the cannon where all the cannons are stored. And then they follow it, and to me, it looks like a big chest box that Mikey ends up pushing the lid out of after it opens up. And up in there is the deck where the treasure's at. So then they all go up to the treasure, and he's sitting here. What do you call it? Oh, I know the word, but it's not coming to me.
All right, move on.
Bonding. That's right. Where he's bonding with One-Eyed Willie.
Oh, yes. Yes. Yeah. Oh, I love that scene. It's so magical because you have all the props. They did a beautiful job of all the details. And he's, how are you, One-Eyed Willie? Like, and he believes in him, and he's so excited to be there with him. You can feel it. Like, as a kid, when I watched that, I can remember thinking, I wanted to be Mikey. I wanted to hang out with One-Eyed Willie. I wanted to be there. And again, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful props. Kudos, because they did a beautiful job on that pirate ship. And yes, that bonding. I get him. I want to do.
And
here's a little bit more trivia for you. During filming, Steven Spielberg and Richard Donner sent the boys to Dodger Stadium for the Jackson's Victory Tour that featured Michael Jackson, who once visited the set.
Oh, wow.
That sounds about right, because Corey Feldman was friends with Michael Jackson. Yeah.
So then he gets through bonding with him and looks over and says, and sees the rest of the Goonies. How long have you been there? And his brother says, long enough. And then they start going through the treasure, start getting as much as they can, because he says, pack it in your pockets, pack it in your shirts, pack as much as you can. And I can't remember which Goonie reaches for it. I think it's
Data.
Data reaches for the scale, and he says, no, that's for Willie.
Or is that was that mouth?
I can't.
No, it was Data. It was
Okay.
Data.
Yeah, all I know is he said, that's for Willie. Leave that alone.
Take anything else with that.
Yeah. So then you see him pour the marbles in and stuff these jewels in his marble pack and stuff it away. And by that time, he says, or one of them says, how are we going to get out of here with them following us? And then he pops up and says, I've seen this on the Hardy Boys. We'll put the treasure in one cave, have them follow it, and we'll escape the other way. And somebody says, sounds good. And then here comes the criminals. Yeah.
Here comes the
Fratellis. Yeah, that sounds real good. And then by that time, the Fratellis are telling them, out the door, out the door, out the door.
Right. Holding swords, and Andy was with the crown of jewels and stuff like that. When Mouth, they were like, remember the bees? They were taking beads and then get out of his mouth. You're the one they call Mouth.
Right. So here's the line exactly. Mama says, you're so quiet all of a sudden. You're the one they call Mouth, aren't you? Mouth. Mama then proceeds to pull a very long pearl necklace out of Mouth's mouth while Francis ties Andy's hands. And as she's pulling it out, oh my God, is that all? And she keeps smacking him on the back of the head. He's spitting stuff out.
And then after he spits stuff out and Andy's hands are tied, she calls mom a witch, you witch. And then that's when she was told to walk the plank. She says, no, I can't do it with my hands tied. So then she walks the plank and dives in. Then Bran comes around and says,
gone.
Yeah, it's gone. And she says, 2 down, who's next? And then at that time, they
Hey, you guys.
yeah,
Oh, guys, yay!
they come in because they have gone through this cave, made the comment earlier. Oh, Mike's been through here with the pipes as Sloss holds the pipes up.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're going down the mass, the mass, and starts fighting them. And yeah, so they all end up in the water. And then
I love Sloth though. You bad mama. You bad. I'm bad. I love Sloth and I love Chunk. So those are just hilarious.
And then and then within that, the one brother says the other brother jump rope. So they do a jump rope and Sloth just turns it on him completely and ties him up. And then after that he raises him. Sloth is in the Superman shirt. And then Mama's saying, "Come to Mama," and she's going, "Rockabye baby," and the look on her face is, "I'm not
Mama, you've been bad.
Mama, you've been bad."
Yeah, and then she starts singing to me, and she gets to the point where the bow breaks. Whoa!
Yeah.
Triggered.
No, I only dropped you once.
Triggered.
Well, maybe twice. No, Sloth, put me down. Yeah, very triggered.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it again. It reminds him of, I think, because of the seeds that we got to see, the seeds that were sown at the beginning of him and Chunk, that authentic care, that authentic love that was genuine. It was just so pure. Just really, we see that blooming in these scenes, and then because again, we continue to see it to the end.
Yeah, and then he throws Mom into the water.
Did anybody else cheer when he did that? I cheered.
I did.
Yes. Go Sloth.
Yeah. And his brothers are hanging up. Mom's crawling up the side. And I don't know what happened to Sloth at this time, but then somehow in between all of this, they're going to get more treasure. Reaches into Willie's and sets off another trap.
Yep.
And then by that time, the whole cave is coming on. Yeah. And so that's what it was. So as the whole cave's come on, they find a way out, but it's blocked by the rocks.
Yeah.
Right. And so they decide to light their last candle.
And figured out it was dynamite. So then they had to go back to the water, go underwater while the dynamite exploded, and their only way out is blocked. Then in comes Sloth and lifts the rock up, and they escape. And Chunk says, "Sloth, no, Sloth, you're gonna be." Can't remember what it was, but Sloth told Chunk, "Go." So then they're out walking up the beach. Here comes a couple of cops and
families. Yep.
And families. So they're all there on the beach having a nice family unity. Then comes over the rich uppity up person. Yeah.
Which I thought is Troy's family or somehow related.
Yeah, Troy's family, yes.
Yeah. And has Mikey's dad sign away the home. But
before he does, Rosita's.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But
I remember her praying. She was so
no pin, no sign, and they grabbed it.
Yeah,
no sign.
Yeah, and that's when Rosita shows him the jewels. That was in his marble bag, which the Fratellis did not even find.
No, right.
So then he rips it up, goes like that. Yep. By this time, the Fratellis is now under arrest because they've come up and they try to get Sloth and Chunk. Yeah, and Chunk steps in and says, "No, this is this is he's not one of them. And then him and the rest of the Goonies jump in front of him. Yes, the pizza comes in before that because his mom got him a pizza.
Domino's.
I'm telling you, Punk and I are like, if I would have lived at the same time that, if I would have been in this movie, Chunk and I would probably been besties. Because this is foodie. We're just foodies.
Exactly. Same here.
So then he still has a pizza box and puts the pizza box up there to stop the cops and stuff. And then Chunk says, "You'll be living with me now because I love you." Yeah.
You will live with me. And well, it's so interesting because he doesn't ask his parents. Okay. Nope. He is a minor. He doesn't even ask his parents. He just assumes. And he goes, "You come live with me." And
yep.
So real quick here on the DVD commentary, I'm just grabbing this from the trivia. Jeff Cohen, played Chunk, claims that the confession of puking off the theater balcony is not based on anything in real life. This is incorrect. The basis of the theater story was a real life prank pulled by executive producer Steven Spielberg while growing up in Phoenix, Arizona.
So here's a cool fact for those who don't know, and I have yet to see the official movie. Recently, and this was up for a Golden Globe and actually won several, and that is Steven Spielberg's The Fabelmans. And The Fabelmans is based off of Steven Spielberg's real life. So we might actually see some of this stuff that has shown up in his movies show up in The Fabelmans because it's based off his.
Cool.
And it won some Golden Globes.
Right on.
Oh man, I love this movie.
I mean, yeah, I say this, I said this a lot today, even in different chats or whatnot I've been in. For me, it's the OT and then the Goonies.
Oh yeah,
there are definitely 4 movies I can watch over and over and over and over and never get sick of.
Me neither. I love the Goonies.
So I'm question because I mentioned my favorite characters. Do you guys have favorite characters from the Goonies that you really feel like represent you or that you connect with?
As far as representing me, I would say was Chunk. Mainly because I was a bigger kid. I mean, and always getting teased or picked on or whatnot. That I felt like, I mean, I could definitely coincide with him or relate to him really well.
Mm-hmm.
And then I mean Sloth. I mean, who can't love Sloth?
Right.
I mean, but I don't know, Kim. I mean, obviously for the girl. I mean, obviously for the girls, unless you were a teenager, really, when you saw that. I mean, obviously this came out in '85, so more likely most of us saw it between '86 and '87.
Yeah.
I mean, you're barely 13 years old.
Yeah.
Or 12 years old at the earliest.
Yeah.
To 13 when you first saw it. So
I don't know. I just because I never experienced what Stephanie and Andy did. So I couldn't really relate to them.
Like I can understand Andy, because I was a cheerleader in high school, but obviously I didn't come until later. But that loyalty or the foodie side or the witty side, that's Chunk. And,
right.
And I was never a skinny girl either. Like I wasn't, I mean, so I understood. I could relate. So
yeah, I mean, I could definitely easily relate. I mean, again, especially, being loyal, because I was there for my friends, even in high school, I was there for my friends when they break up with their girlfriends, but the minute I had a girlfriend or the minute I broke up with a girlfriend, they were never around. And I just got used to being, okay, well, I'm the one who will be there for my friends, even if they don't want to be there for me, whatever, I'll learn how to deal with stuff on my own. And I mean, I'm sure that's where a lot of my early years of getting into depression started, probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would have to really go deep on that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had my issues before, but whatnot. But
yeah,
I mean, but that's for me. I mean, what do you get?
I don't know. I guess Mikey would be kind of who I could relate to because I was always adventurous. I always liked outdoor adventures, like to go hiking, like to go, if there was something that I wanted to, if there was something I wanted to do, I'd do it, And I mean, but because he liked the outdoors as well. And growing up, I spent most of my time outdoors. It was either on camping trips or I just spent it outdoors playing or roller skating.
Were you also like Mikey in the sense that if you're going to do it, you're going to do it?
Yes.
If your brother or sister told you no?
Yes.
I love it. You rebel, you.
Rebel yell. Yeah. So I guess, I mean, real quick, I mean, we can go over the soundtrack. I mean, it was funny. Kim listened to it last night, I think probably the first time.
The first time. I had seen the movie multiple times, but never listened to the soundtrack.
So she was listening to the re-released version that is on iTunes, which has 2 bonus tracks, 2 remixes of the Good Enough or The Goonies Are Good Enough by Cyndi Lauper, and then
8 Arms.
8 Arms.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I mean, oh shit, it's way over there. Never mind.
Anyway,
the cassette's way over the hell over there because that's the original copy I have. That is the
because it's been used and abused, right, Scott?
Oh yeah, it's definitely been used and abused. It probably got played all the way through once in my younger years when I first got the soundtrack, but I pretty much stuck with the Good Enough song by Cyndi Lauper. Again, I know I listened to the rest of it, but I listened to it actually again for the first time this morning on iTunes. But I only did the first 10 songs because that's what the original album was. And
I didn't know that.
While listening to it, I mean, the only song I could say was really annoying, still annoying to me today,
is 8 Arms.
Is 8 Arms.
The rest of them are good.
It's really it's so repetitive.
Yeah. But yeah, the rest of them are good. There's
but I mean, there's The Goonies Are Good Enough, obviously.
Cyndi Lauper.
Right. Written by Cyndi Lauper, Steve Lunt, and Arthur Stead. Love is Alive by Philip Bailey, written by Philip Bailey and Richard Marx.
Yep.
So this is 85. I mean, this is before Richard Marx is Richard Marx.
Yeah.
I mean, this is before we knew who Richard Marx was.
Oh, I love Richard Marx.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. I actually found his first album on LP.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I was stoked when I found that. I think I got it on eBay, but it was just one of those things I'm like, I want this.
Yeah.
I had it on CD when it first came out.
Mm-hmm.
I was one of those early adopters of CD, but
yeah,
finding some of the stuff that either one, I had no access to get to the record, or because I had no record player at the time.
Yeah.
To get some of the stuff now back that was originally produced in the 80s.
Yes.
Because Kim knows I usually don't go after all the new remastered copies, the 180 grams or all that. I go after the original pressings from the 80s.
Yes.
Just because I want those original ones. I don't want the newer ones. Anyways, I Got Nothing by the Bangles.
Yes.
Great song, obviously written by Susanna Hoffs, Victoria Peterson, Jules Shear. Again, we were talking about 8 Arms to Hold You. It's performed by the Goon Squad. I should have actually looked this up, but it was written by Arthur Baker, Robbie Kilgore, and Jimmy Brawler. What a Thrill, performed by Cyndi Lauper, produced by Cyndi Lauper, written by Cyndi Lauper and John Turry. 14K by Tina Marie.
Yeah.
Good song. I mean, it was a really good song. It was performed, produced, and written by Tina Marie.
Mm-hmm.
Wherever You're Going, It's All Right, performed by REO Speedwagon.
That was one of the ones I liked.
Written by Kevin Cromie. I mean, is there really a bad REO Speedwagon song?
No, there really isn't.
Mm-hmm. True.
I mean, the first time I ever heard REO Speedwagon was High Infidelity, And that's because a friend of mine had the record.
Yeah.
You know, Scott, if we go back to the original article you read earlier, no REO Speedwagon was in that article.
That's true.
I must have REO Speedwagon, I guess.
Right.
But everything else is
right. I'm not sure. I should double check some of these because I mean I know what they show as being on the soundtrack is not soundtrack because they show all the songs performed in the movie that are heard. So let me just pull up the other one, make sure I'm actually using the right one and getting.
Oh, and special note, okay, music wise, during the movie itself, when Sloth shows up, and again he shows off the S, you know, hey you guys, you can also hear the Superman song undertones right there, and that's really awesome. I love that you can hear that.
Okay, yeah. So see, my bad. I just went from that one to that one. So She's So Good to Me by Luther Vandross, written also by Luther Vandross. Save the Night. It was written by Joseph Williams and Amy Sue Ryark. Performed by Joseph Williams. And then the theme, obviously you got, there's where they're putting all the other themes: Don Juan, Superman, James Bond. Obviously these are not on the album itself,
but they're in the movie.
Right. They're right. Again, that's the one thing, the difference. Like IMDb will always give you the whole list of songs that are in the movie.
I was really glad they played the 007 theme song.
Yeah, I know you were, Kim. Yeah, so real quick, the album hit the US Billboard 200. It peaked at 73.
Wow.
In the United States, it was released on LP, cassette, and CD in 1985.
Yep.
Crazy to think about that.
Yeah, it is.
So, I mean, 85 was actually the early adaptation. I didn't start buying CDs until 1986. That's because I worked my ass off that summer to buy my first CD player.
Yes, I know.
I was going to have it. It was like, ooh, CDs? What is this?
Yeah.
Oh, what? A player costs $300 friggin'. Damn it.
Man.
Well, then, let me work. And I did. I worked and got my first one and then bought my first two CDs.
Yes.
Appetite for Destruction and the soundtrack to La Bamba.
Oh, man.
Dragon Buggy.
TV.
How you doing, brother? Hope mom and
Alex
are both doing well. Hope Alex is definitely doing well, and again, always in our thoughts and prayers. And as far as this movie goes, I know we try to go stars. I ain't got enough stars for this one because it's off the charts for me. It's one of my favorite friggin' movies.
Family movie that you can watch together with your family.
Definitely a family movie. Definitely you can sit down with, and it's perfect. I mean, there's just enough swearing in it to give the PG rating.
Right. Well, this is, I think, right around the time when they were still working on that PG-13, and Spielberg wanted more, and other people in that think they wanted more, and that was going to push the change in the PG-13s of things.
Definitely, Baldo. I mean, I don't remember what mine was. I just remember I worked my butt off to get it. A friend of mine, who was already an adult working in the mining there in Northern Nevada. He bought his first one from Radio Shack.
Yep.
I remember that, and I know he paid a pretty penny for it.
Yes, he did.
And then he wanted to see the sucker work, so we took the sucker apart.
Oh.
Took the cover off. We wanted to see. He called me up, was like, "Hey, I got the CD player." I'm like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, I'll come in and get him." I'm like, "Oh, sweet," because he lived out in the boondocks of town, and so he came and got me. We were playing, listening to music, and he's like, "Let's see how this sucker works." I'm like, "What?"
Are you crazy?
Screwdriver, took the friggin' top off, and we're just literally watching the CDs go in, spin. We're looking for the laser.
You put out all that money, and now you want to take it apart?
He took his apart. When I got mine, I was like, no. My funny story about getting the CD player is when I got the CD player, then I got my first 2 CDs. My mom's like, okay, so what's the difference between these and cassettes? I'm like, better sound, no leaders, no nothing. Hit play, the sucker's gonna play. Well, you got to prove it to me. I'm like, okay, well, how am I gonna do that? I'm like, you don't like Guns N' Roses, so I went with the bomb. I had the cassette tape, so I put it in, played it on my cassette deck. Took forever to get it. Felt like it took forever to get to the song La Bamba, and she listened to it. I had on decent level, put the CD in, hit play, boom, boom. Sounds the same. I'm like, you can't hear it. You're
And
not
then
good enough.
The later 2000, well, what 2000? The last 5-10 years, the return of vinyl.
Right? Yeah. I mean, that is a crazy thing. I mean, I remember, you know, even the mid to late 80s, definitely mid to late 80s going when vinyl stopped even showing up in our small little town. And obviously we live close enough. I mean, 300 miles east to Salt Lake City, or 300 miles east or west to Reno was our closest music stores. If we wanted to go like to, you know, Tower Records or Sam Goodyear or something like that.
Yep.
And so we had to rely on grocery stores pretty much to carry LPs or albums and CDs and cassettes. And yeah, wow. I mean, I thought for sure I'd never see the return of vinyl, and then all of a sudden it's like started slowly coming back. I'm like, what?
Yep.
and
like,
now
thing ever.
yeah, it is. It's crazy. I mean, what really gets me, like for me, for vinyl, what really gets me to buy it is when I see digital download. If it comes with a digital download, I'm fine with that, because at least I can get it to where, I mean, nowadays it's not that big of a deal, because if you got Spotify or if you got Apple Music, you've got it, or even Prime Music, you've got it. You're gonna have all the albums. You can get pretty much everything on that's out there.
Yep.
But anyways, yeah, I love this movie. I don't care what anybody says.
I do too.
But, you know, it is show and tell time.
It is.
It is. You know what? We're gonna let our guests go first.
Me?
Yes.
Me?
Yes.
I hit the jackpot. So. Hello, everybody. So excited everyone's here. So thank you real quick to Scott and Kim for letting me be here on Used and Abused this evening and letting me share my show and tell this week, because I appreciate it. I hit the treasure box this weekend. I was out thrifting, and I have had some books on my wish list and was not expecting to see them this weekend, and they all came home with me. Not one, not two. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books now off my wish list, starting with Star Wars, Lords of the Sith by Paul Kessner. Yes, I've got Paul S. Kemp. The next one, Star Wars Tarkin by James Lucena. Here we go, more. Heir to the Jedi, Kevin Hart. Alexander Freed, Star Wars Battlefront, Twilight Company. But again, some of these work together. I already had the book by Chuck Wendig, which was called Aftermath, but now I have Aftermath Life Debt, as well as, hold on, I'm gotten stuck by cords. Aftermath, Empire's End, and one last one. I'm so excited to have this again. These were all on my wish list the last few years. So to find all these at one time, thrifting, which is also my recommendation, is Star Wars Catalyst, a Rogue One book. I'm so excited because I already have the Rogue One book. So I'm excited to have all of these included in my collection now. I will let you guys know how I like them, but I'm really excited, and I've heard some really good things about these books. So I'm excited to find out all the little details. So, and that is my show and tell. I cannot wait to see what you guys have on your end.
And for the fact he found all those, I just got to do this.
Well, okay, and it's interesting because I also saw Star Wars Thrawn, but I already owned it, and there was a few, and then they was a paperback of the Aftermath. But I was like, no, I already have it in hardback, so I'm like, I'll let somebody else have it. Not get it just to get it and just to have it, because I already have them. So
Right.
that's why I thrift people.
And real quick, we're gonna run back into the chat real quick because DB or Ubaldo vinyl is awesome. Dragon Buddy, all the technology we've got, and nothing beats listening to vinyl. And then Ubaldo's books. And
Yes.
then Dad, I go all the way back to 8-track days and vinyl. And yes, Kenny, I actually do remember listening to 8-track. I was born in 71, so a lot of the stuff my parents had. My mom had a lot of records, but she not as many as we got behind us. But we also had a lot of stuff on 8-track. I remember hating the fact that if there was a song I didn't like, I had to pretty much sit through it because we get back to another song. But most of the time, we listened to the full album, and I don't recall any albums that I listened to at those times having anything I didn't like. I would have to go pull the albums out, but a lot of them I've actually found on LP now. One is Jim Croce's Photographs and Memories. That was one of my biggest ones I played all the time. Jim Stafford's very first album, one's got Spiders and Snakes on it, plus a few other good ones, LA Mama, and another one was this Elvis Presley record, or we got it on record now, but it was a blue copy. I think it came out like in 73, and it was anyways, it's just him standing there. It was actually a double 8-track thing also, and then I remember, but I know it came out on double 8-track was Aloha.
Yes.
I only recall ever seeing the first one because I'm sure I destroyed it. I'm sure half the reason why half my mom's stuff or music I grew up on isn't around today is because I destroyed it.
Oh,
I was bad. I was really bad. I mean, like I said, I can go back in there. I can pull out my mom's original Surfing Safari, which is the first Beach Boys album, and I can look at it and look at the group, the scratches going, I would love to just go back and beat the living shit out of myself for doing that. I mean, there's even, Kim even saw this.
We've learned.
Yeah, I mean, even go back to the original pictures of Used and Abused when we first started the podcast, or when I started the podcast. There's this Elvis record. It showed the back of it. It's just beat the living hell out. My sister got me that. It was after he had passed away, and it's all of his legendary live performances, pretty much. And the records on there were destroyed. They're cracked, and we found another copy clean.
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
So I was able to actually replace that one, which I was happy. And then another one is my electric company's Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man Stories, which is ironic because it is narrated by Morgan Freeman.
It is.
Which I did not know he did that back in the 70s. What's up, Kim?
I was just noticing what Dragon Buddy you put. My first album was Dire Straits' Brother in Arms, and this day I prefer vinyl.
All right.
And I figured you'd pick that up and you're going to go get it because you have a story about that album.
Ow.
And then we'll do our show and tell.
Oh, where's Elvis?
He's just gone home.
He's not dead. He's gone home. Oh,
Did you find it?
What?
Ow.
Yeah, you did.
Ow. Oh, gosh, man. I'm, 51? Gonna be 52 this year?
Yes.
I feel like I'm 94.
All right, I'll hold this one.
94.
Off to Neverland.
That's right, where you
Anyways,
never grow up.
So this is the one I was talking about that we had.
Oh, that's a beauty. Look at that.
Yeah, and this is actually a double record. The cool part is there's no listings on it.
No.
It's just, but yeah, this one here we had on 8-track back, and then my parents had on 8-track. But yeah, so DB, you're talking about Brothers in Arms. So after Money for Nothing came out on not MTV. It came out on MTV, but I saw it on 9 tracks.
Yeah.
We didn't have MTV in the small town we lived in.
No.
But I asked for it for Christmas one year. And a buddy of mine's like,
of course you guys have it.
So a buddy of mine, he wanted Motley Crue's Too Fast for Love on cassette. I wanted Dire Straits Brothers in Arms. And he told his parents to get me a Dire Straits album. Well, they bought me Dire Straits, which has the Sultans of Swing on it. Now, I listened to it back then, and I just couldn't get into it, which I found out most of the stuff for me, as I've gotten older, I've come to like stuff I didn't like back then. Like, I hated Cinderella's Long Cold Winter song.
Oh, that's
could not stand it. I love it today.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things where my tastes have changed, or I've grown musically, whatnot. Anyways, a couple years ago now.
Yeah, a couple of years ago.
We were on eBay, and yes.
Nice.
And I was so happy to find this. Obviously, there's so many different copies out. You know, you got the newer, remastered versions, but this one is
the original.
Right.
This is the original record that was released when the album was released.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm getting a lot of these when I find them on eBay. I'm finding them from either a record collector or somebody like a DJ who had them, or we're finding them, people who just took care of their shit.
Yeah, exactly.
And didn't let snot-nosed kids play with them.
Yeah, we were only
the cool part also, I mean,
it's got
most people nowadays, they actually change them out and they put them in different, but here's the actual original sleeve.
Yes.
And of course, it's hard to see it because it's in pink, but there's all the lyrics, just like in the cassette tape.
Yep.
But yeah, of course, I got a DB. No, I'm just joking. There's a lot of stuff I still want to get. For sure, I want to get Suicidal Tendencies' first record.
Yes.
I want to get that one on record. I mean, that is like a must-have for Scott.
Yes.
I mean, I would love to go back. I would love to get some of Metallica, but most of that stuff's pretty expensive now.
Yes.
That I'm just, I mean, I won't fork out $1,500 for Motley Crue's first demo version of Too Fast for Love. I'm not going to fork out that much money for a Metallica record. I mean,
yeah.
My thing is I'm going to play these. So what?
Keep going.
Oh, that's right. Anyways, yes,
Keep
it
going.
is such a good album. I do agree, DB. Yeah, of course, yeah. That's what your bottle said. I'm not surprised either, Dragonfly. There's no bad. No, I agree. Again, like I said, a lot of it for me was as I gotten older, I've definitely come to like more of those albums, more of those songs, which I love. I love it. And a lot of it, I think, is because as quote unquote songwriter, bass player, musician, period, I've grown musically.
Yes, you have.
Anyways. All right, Kim's ready to get to our show and tell.
Not unless you're done with the Dire Straits.
I'm done with Dire Straits. We got to do a Dire Straits night.
Yes, we do.
All right, Kim, what are you doing?
Okay, that's also on my wish list. That is on my wish list.
This is
I can't
awesome.
wait for when it's my turn to show you all that. This is my
well, yeah.
Yes.
Actually,
we've just been on an Elvis.
Yeah.
An Elvis. Oh my gosh, he's so handsome.
Anyways, this is written by Steve Bender, the director who went toe to toe with the Colonel.
Yes.
Time somebody did.
And let me take us out of. But yeah, it's awesome to read this.
I can't.
One of the stories in there I love the most out of it. And the great thing about having this is last week we talked about more likely we're looking at Elvis to be 4 to 5 parts, maybe. Not only we did the movie, but we're going to do the music and then the movies, and then we're going to do the live concerts. But then, do we take the 68 comeback and break it, just do it by itself and do the Aloha show by itself?
Yeah.
Because those are iconic moments for Elvis.
Yeah, they are.
And listening to Bender in here at one moment, they're backstage or in the Colonel's office. And he's like, there needs to be a Christmas song on this special. Elvis demands it. Don't you, Elvis? Tell him you want to do a Christmas song. And he says Elvis is sat there, arms crossed, looking down and said, yeah, I want to do a Christmas song. Then the Colonel leaves. Hold on. Then the Colonel leaves. And as the door closes and Bender looks back to Elvis, Elvis looks at Bender and Bender writes it in here that Elvis's next words were, fuck him. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
So there are moments in here where you're the way he was portrayed in the movie by Baz. And again, the foreword was also written by Baz in here.
Oh, Baz.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Luhrmann.
Which can we make a special side note because we haven't talked about it yet? That is that Butler won, as I predicted. He won. Well, however, at the Critics' Choice, and I said last week this is going to come down between Austin Butler and Brendan Fraser, and Brendan Fraser won for The Whale at the Critics' Choice. Now, I'll be honest. I can only root for Austin because I've only seen his take. I have yet to see Brendan Fraser in The Whale. Right. But I hate when movies get nominated and people haven't seen them yet. Like that's why I can say I should like Austin's performance because I've seen it. Unlike Brendan Fraser's, when theaters don't put it to you, how are you supposed to know? You know. But I've heard good things. So again, I think when we get to the Oscars, it's going to come down between the two of them.
Right.
Right now, you can only root for the one because, well, I've only seen his.
Right. Exactly.
But I'm so excited for him because Austin Butler earned that, and he did an amazing job. And Baz did great at directing. And
yes, I agree.
Steven Spielberg won. Oh my god.
Yeah, no, this is. I mean, it's a short read. It means only like 100, I think like 129 total pages, and there's a lot of pictures in there. It's a short read. It's a huge book. I mean, when you first, I'm thinking when I ordered this, I'm thinking like, okay, it's like a regular hardcover book, not a coffee table style book, which I'm happy it was.
It is on my Amazon wish list. Again, like these books that I just showed you guys, that one is on, and I think it's rare that I think that one would be something that I would find in a thrift store. So
yeah, that one might be tough.
But you never know though, because there was a lot of albums that we found when we were thrifting over at Goodwill that people didn't know what they had and they just donated them, and we ended up getting them for a good price.
People like me, and they go, "Wait a minute."
Yeah.
And there are people who do that do know.
But the thing, Kim, too, is like, I mean, Nicole's obviously closer to Chicago, in the Chicago area where we're here in Yuma, Arizona. So it's a little bit different because
I'm not necessarily in Chicago. I'm about like a good 2 hours away.
Well,
I'm out in the boondocks, y'all.
Oh, okay.
I literally have a cornfield like down the street.
Nice.
But yeah, children in the corn. Now, Rome, our Red 5 network creator, now he is in the city.
Oh yeah, he's definitely in the city.
Yes.
I love him when he brings up like ruler, talking about, like DB and Lunar Girl because they live out in the sticks, and it's like, yeah, I could survive out there where they're at, I mean, and he's like, oh no, I got, city life, which is funny. He lives in the city and does not like sports ball.
And he's living in, I know, in Chi-Town. And I'm like,
right.
But hold up. Let's give him credit where credit's due. Okay. He knows about Michael Jordan. He was at all the stuff. He's done a lot of stuff with the Bulls. So the fact that I got that information out, I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
that
I
was cool.
heard the Angels singing that day. I'm like, oh, this is the best. Right. I think that was the best moment on New Year's Eve because that was on New Year's Eve. I'm like, no, he is ending this year on a good beat. All this good stuff about Rowan in sports ball.
Right. Exactly. But, yeah, no, I mean, but this is fun. But yeah, I mean, we got a lot more. I mean, there's a lot more. I mean, heck, we just got a delivery today from eBay.
Yes, we did.
That we didn't show off. And then there was something that actually just came in the mail a couple days ago from Canada.
Yes.
That I've been waiting for, but I decided I'm gonna wait until either one, we're doing the second half of the Wednesday show with Nicole and Lunar Girl, or at least when I know LG's in the chat, or comes on and does the Red 5 happenings when she's able and ready, in her time.
Yes.
But
that we are thinking of her.
Exactly. And so when she does come back on, I want to show these to her because I think she's gonna get a kick out of those. But yeah.
And then also the other one that we received today. Did you want to show it off today, or do you want to wait till March when we actually do him?
I'm not gonna wait until March.
Okay, then why didn't you grab it?
Because we can save it for next week.
Okay, we'll save
it. Or the week after.
Okay, we'll save it.
Or I mean, the only day
we won't. Can't wait to find out. Maybe you should tell your patrons what this surprise is.
Which one? Both of them? Well, we do both of them though. I mean, because if I do both of them, then Little Girl finds out earlier. Yeah, I see. I want to see her face on this one.
Yeah, but the other one we could.
Yeah,
we could. Yeah, we could tell them.
My voice is going.
That's why we got these.
I know. That's why I need to drink water. But anyways, this was fun. It was a blast. I love the Goonies. I mean, you can't go wrong with the Goonies.
Oh no, you can't.
But I did see something.
Okay.
And I should have brought this up. And I'm going to bring it up now because I got a feeling there's something that Nicole really could bring up too that I know Kim hasn't seen yet.
What?
In extra chats today, but we will not bring that up right at the moment. However, 2027, The Goonies 2.
Really?
Get out of here.
It says right here, expected release is April 23rd, 2027. It's being written by Chris Columbus.
What? Get out. Seriously?
Hold on. My eyes are bugging on me. So far, starring Corey Feldman as Mouth. Sean Austin is rumored. Robert Davi is back as Jake Fratelli. And supposedly Cyndi Lauper is going to be playing the part of Bean Soup Annie.
Okay, we'll give it a few years since a few years out.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I mean, 2027. We've got a while.
A lot of time. Let's see if this happens.
And then, according also in here, it says also you might like supposedly 2023 coming December 25th, Gremlins 3.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, there's something that I know came up that I know Kim doesn't know about, so I'm just curious. I know about it because I saw it in the chat earlier, and actually it was Nicole who brought this to everybody's attention. There is a rumor, or maybe it's not a rumor, maybe it's actually kind of truthful. They're remaking Ghost.
No.
Okay. No. Yes. Okay. So this is a confirmed rumor, though. Okay. And it hasn't happened yet because trying to think of his name. Magic Mike. What's his Channing Tatum. He owns a company. And it is his company that has the copyrights to Ghost. And he wants to redo it and correct some of the stereotypes and Yeah, I didn't at him today, and I'm sure he will not answer, especially because there's like hardly any retweets on it or anything. And that is, please don't make this movie. Please do not remake this movie.
No,
But he wants.
absolutely not. No.
I'm like, can you do something fresh, something new we've never seen before? Please, I'm on my knees. Yeah. So please, anybody who's on Twitter, go at Peace Love Fandoms, okay? Retweet at Channing Tatum on my retweet. Ask him not to do that, please.
I
know.
So DB, I think he was talking about when we were talking about Goonies, maybe the Gremlins. Still talking about being a reboot. Yeah, I'm not ready for a reboot. Don't need a reboot on either one of those. Backyard Target says Data was his childhood hero.
Good to see. Okay, so DB, who was one of your favorites? Since we know Nicholas liked Data. What was his too? Oh, Data. Never mind.
Or Backyard Target also said he had the boxing glove belt as a kid.
That is so cool. Like I always wanted his like little things so I could have them myself, but Lord knows I didn't. But man, that would have been so cool.
And then real quick, also DB says, imagine it happening in the 2020s. Kid finds a treasure map and his friends don't care because they don't go outside. Too busy yelling at Call of Duty and watching TikTok.
You know, he's got a point. Like,
he does got a point.
Yeah.
And relate it because.
And then Nick or Backyard Target says, DB, that would be trying to blog it and give up when they didn't have a signal to look up the puzzles on YouTube.
Yeah.
Dragon Buddy said, mine too, Nicholas.
Yeah.
About
Data.
Yeah.
Yep, right here. I wanted to be Data. That was a lot like Mouth because of my humor. Right on.
I'm kind of curious. I don't know if I'd add still in the chat, but I'm curious. I mean, I was always a talker, so I guess it makes sense that I might be more like Mouth. But at the same time, just because I was a talker, I still think I related more to Chunk.
Right.
Yes.
I think. Oddly, I think I related more to the guys than I did the girls, and I don't know why. I mean, it has nothing to do with stereotypes. It just happens to be their qualities, their characteristics.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Right. I mean, as far as Andy goes, I mean, she's your stereotypical preppy cheerleader.
I was gonna say, I'm like, be careful. I was a cheerleader, but I wasn't.
I know. I've had a lot of friends who were cheerleaders, but they weren't the preppy cheerleaders.
Right. We get stereotyped because sometimes movies like to miss stereotypes. See?
What?
It says, if I hadn't had the chance to go on close up, I actually tried out for the cheer squad. That was like my senior year, I think.
Okay, so I'll show you how bad football players are towards the cheer team. This is how bad. I mean, I don't remember what they did. They did something, but somebody during one of our games. Oh, I know what it was. Another team mentioned how our field was shit.
Oh, okay.
Because the fucking middle of the goddamn thing just wouldn't grow, right?
No, because it was multi-purpose field.
So one of the players, wasn't me. I mean, I used it later, but it wasn't me who originally said it. Said, yeah, that's from our cheerleaders grazing.
Oh God.
Now to say I didn't laugh, that'd be completely false because I busted up laughing. I have to admit, I'll admit I did bust up laughing at that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what they literally told another team. The cheerleaders were busy grazing. Oh. That happens. You grow up in the fucking sticks.
Yeah, that's true. And everywhere you look, there's farmland, ranches. Yeah.
Well, how about right next to one of the little mom and pop grocery stores? There's a fucking pen full of cows.
Yeah, exactly.
In town.
Yeah.
It's like, what the
yeah.
Like, shouldn't that shit be out?
Yeah, exactly.
But anyways, I mean, I knew a lot of it. But the funny part was, guess who told all the cheerleaders that it was sad?
You.
Yeah. I mean, I admitted to them I did laugh. I mean, and actually most of them laughed too. They thought it was funny as shit.
Yeah.
That I think the next practice, one of our practices, I think they came out and said, "Yeah, too bad there's no bulls out there." And I busted up laughing at that one too. I mean, but no. But
we're at the 3 hour mark again, y'all.
Huh?
We're almost to the 3 hour mark again.
Yeah, we are. Oh, by the way, the record is 3:11
around here.
Yeah. The record's 3:11 with Lunar Girl.
What?
Lunar Girl's got the record at 3 hours and 11 minutes. That was
our... do that. Trust me.
I know. I mean, Elvis alone could make us go 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
We would have to start at 3:30, but we can handle to get over by 7.
Yes, we could.
Anyways, well, what do you got coming up, Nicole?
Well, so real quick reminder to everyone, all of our listeners, that Rogue One Radio is currently on winter holiday and will return on Star Wars Podcast Day, which is February 7th, as well as Used and Abused will also be starring on Star Wars Podcast Day, which is again Tuesday, February 7th. This week, I am going to be in the chat, not on it, but on Red 5's Tavern. The Dungeons and Dragons return, so that should be fun. I'll be here guesting again next week, so you can find me here. Yep. And then coming in February, me and Kim are going to be doing this, and we're going to be doing a Galentine's thing with Scarab After Dark, as well as Lunar Girl, and I think also Tina, the meme queen. So I'm excited for all the fun stuff that's coming up. And you can find me at Peace Love Pinups on Twitter, as well as Instagram, and let's see here. Oh, TikTok too. I always forget about TikTok. I'm on it, but I'm more of a reposter, not like a really. We'll get there. I'll get there. It's okay. Yeah. So yeah.
Awesome. Yes. Yeah. And as far as next week goes, that's up in the air. We've got 2 possibilities. One, obviously, if when I hear from Lunar Girl, if it's a go, we'll go Wednesday, episodes 5 through 8.
And that is the TV show Wednesday. That is not the day Wednesday.
Correct.
Otherwise, I think I'm going to talk off air with everybody involved right now. And if she's not a go, I think I want to do really something special in the point of 3 albums that a young lady put out. And we just lost her, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But maybe do a little Lisa Marie Presley music. But we'll see. Otherwise, we can come up with some more ideas too.
That's true.
I'm sure we can come up with a lot of ideas.
I'm sure we could.
But anyways, as far as everything else going on, guys, just check the Red 5 Network. Look for the promos. I'll be retweeting, try to get everything out through our channels, on Twitter, Facebook, the Gram, Discord. I'll try to get all, what's going on with the Red 5 Network each day.
Yes.
ATSW, the Skate Pod, again, I know will not be back until the 25th.
That's right.
Where they're going to talk Borat. Kim's going, what the fuck is Borat? I don't even know what that is.
I've heard of it. But
I know you've heard of it, but I know what it is. It's hilarious.
Okay.
I love it. It's perfect, Kim. Okay. I got more laughter out of Kim than I love it.
But yeah, so but other than that, and then of course Nicole did bring up the Red 5 Tavern. Will be back this Friday.
Yes, I can watch a little bit of it.
Dungeons and Dragons. That will be the party.
Yes.
Party Central that night. But until next week here on Used and Abused, everybody have a great week. A great weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Be
Be
kind
kind
to
to
everyone.
everyone.
I'm trying to get everything ready here. I'm not ready, but here we go. And peace.
Peace.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.